This is the Levels Network. I'm Justin Horo, joined by the Triple OG, Willie Mason OG. Round one is officially behind us now. We have caught up on the Vegas games with the rest of round one. And I wish we were recording about 5 minutes ago because you've just come in red hot. People were getting sprayed. Coaches are getting sprayed. Lukey's getting sprayed.
It's just funny, mate. Round one can just do that to
the
you.
The weatherman's getting sprayed.
It's just round one, isn't it? Like everyone's so like, if you ask any team 3 weeks ago how you looking, oh fuck, we're looking good, top 8, top 4, and then you just get absolutely poleaxed, and you just think, are we doing everything wrong? Did we do everything wrong? You question everything about what you've done in the preseason. If just say if you're Parramatta, you're North Queensland on the end of
Roosters,
at the end of the these floggings, not like competitive games. You're not worried if you're St George. You showed up a little bit. It was still a bit of a touch up.
Yep.
West Tigers, you're like, yeah, we could have won that game.
Agreed.
Winnable game. Cronulla, winnable game. Warriors, all those sort of things. I'm like, man, okay. But then those other ones, you're like, I'm a good friend of Jason Riles. I'm like, we went on 3 Kangaroo tours and played Origin together. I'm looking at him going, fuck, do you really want to coach first grade? That was just a baptism of fire. The stress. Big Rod Payton's his 5th year. Looked like it was his fucking 40th. And everyone asks us like, what do you get into training, Willie? I mean, into coaching, Willie? I'm like, not a chance. Like, it's just the most, one of the highest stressful jobs you can have. It just, those guys are my age.
Should fans be overreacting over one performance? Did you see with those 3 teams in particular, the Roosters, the Cowboys, and the Eels didn't look great.
Yep.
But are you willing to, completely put a line through? The old stat line that's damning for anyone. You can't win a competition when you have 50 put on you. So that's the Roosters and Eels done off the back of that stat.
It looks like some of those misassignments in defence on edges where that's all you do is work on that left on rights continuously, rep after reps. And to do a simple play, I think when I watch Meaney just like tip out the back and Meaney just catch him, he hits a hole and it's like 5 metres. Drawing past to Harry Grant, I went.
When Munster skinned him, nice little short.
That was even worse. But that wasn't as bad. It was just, I think on the left post, it was a tip out the back to bang Meaney and just hit a hole 50 metres out, and then Harry Grant scored that try.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't when Jerome went out the back.
Yeah,
and then he played to Munster. Munster played short. He went through a huge hole.
Yeah. And even the one where Munster just like dummy skip, no inside pressure, no nothing, and then they scored down that edge again. I was just like, nah, man, that's just I don't know what that is. You can't. I'm not sure if that's fixable in a year.
Yeah.
Right. You might be able to fix little things. And Melbourne were on, right? They were on, but they weren't. They're throwing that shape of you every game. They'll have 3 shots at you every set of 6. That's what it looks like too. They'll do a couple of little things, and the middles look good. They tip, but like just those things. That's your middles not working hard enough to put inside pressure on Munster, to put inside pressure on Jerome, Harry Grant. So those 3 absolutely just demolished you by themselves, because that's the middle's fault. You can put everything back so the edge gets pushed in and they're all turning their shoulders in because they're worried about the middles not putting pressure on, so they think they can solve it. And it's not good. On different pages, mate. It's not bad.
An overreaction or underreaction, I think I'm not going to overreact with the teams that didn't look great so far with new combinations and new people in new spots and trying to work on that. But I don't think it's an overreaction to say that, geez, the top 3-4 teams are going to be hard to beat this year, mate. Like, it feels like
it's what we said, right?
There's a gap, a huge gap from the, in my opinion, the 3 best. Like Penrith are going to be Penrith. Melbourne have gone out and put up a performance like we expected. Yeah. Everyone was high on the Broncos with the talent they've got and Madge being there, and they've come out and proved or looked really good in their first crack. And then it's just about establishing who's going to be that 4th team. Cronulla, they looked pretty good against Penrith a couple of weeks ago. Manly were impressive. I thought the Bulldogs were impressive.
Bulldogs were good for 65. Like they just let a couple of. There's Tuipulotu won a raise. I'm not sure. I was stunned. Like, it was 28-10. Do your thing, boy. I don't care what it is, but I'm like, is he on fucking matches? Because I'm not sure if he's having a crack, because I'm sure it's 28-10. Yeah. You don't fucking carry on like that. It's just the rules.
Well, I was going to say for later, let's get it like.
Oh no, I was just shocked. I was like, everyone on the group text, like, what the fuck's up with him? I was like, I don't know. He's just, it's just these young kids love you know, fucking try celebrations, do whatever you want. But I'm like, he's doing this, like, fucking pay me. Is he doing this to St. George? Is it a personal thing? It's not like, that wasn't a crack at St. I didn't take that personal as like, he's fucking carrying on. I'm like, is he on fucking 60 grand?
I think he was just feeling himself.
Is he feeling himself?
I think so, yeah.
Well, if he's feeling himself, stop that, because it's 28-10.
Yeah.
Understand. If it's 56-10, fucking carry on. Do whatever you want. You're winning. Not 28-10, you're getting pumped.
Yeah.
Lipping off the critter, all that sort of shit. I'm like, come on, man, have some respect.
Yeah.
Unless it's... let me know if he was just him feeling himself.
He's definitely not on matches. He's not on 60.
I know that, but I'm just thinking. No, I'm just thinking. Fuck, he's acting like he's got no. Like, I need more money, or is that just the way that it is? Or who does that fucking celebration in the UFC? Is fucking Conor McGregor or some shit?
Well, I was calling it the Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
Fucking
cash money.
Yeah. Well, I want more money. He's going in to fucking renegotiate.
He was giving it to all the Dragons fans that turn up and sold out the Cogra. Maybe that was it. Hey,
I was trying to decipher. No, every time he did it, we were trying to decipher, me and 6'1" Rennie Matua, what is he carrying on about? It's like, is does he want a pay rise? We fucking, we deep dive into everything. Maybe he's on unders. Maybe he wants a release. Maybe he's telling his manager, go in there and get me fucking 300, 350.
No, I think you're trying to find reasons for it.
Or he's just fucking,
you're like,
he's just carrying on. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, kid?
Yeah.
28-10. We'll get to that when Critter, what the fuck's Critter supposed to hit? And he starts slipping back at him. I'm like, fuck, man, earn your stripes before you start carrying on like that.
Yeah, that was only after the fact too. And I was calling that. I called that game for SEN on Saturday, and I knew it was coming. Once he scored the third try,
I was laughing.
He is. What's the best word? How do I describe him? He's obviously, he come through at Manly. Good player too. By the way.
I rate him highly. I just like if you're winning. It's like getting beat by 50 in the NBA and just like you jack a three up and you get it and you do this shit. Was it Johnny Manziel?
Yeah.
He loves Johnny Manziel.
Loves Johnny.
That's what he did. That
Johnny
was it.
Cash.
Johnny Cash, Johnny Football. Tuipulotu Football. Is that it? He's trying to start his own brand.
I thought Damien Cook summed it up pretty well after because as a teammate and a coach, you can't throw him a bus, but surely you're going to have a conversation with him. I think he's one of those guys. He's high energy.
He loves it.
Damien Cook said that's how he is. He's the energy guy. Yeah. He was probably trying to get the crowd involved.
Yeah.
He was probably trying to get his teammate. They went on a little run.
They did.
They did go on a little run.
I'm like, if he wins and he does that, he looks like a fucking king.
He's the genius if he does that 28-10 down and they come back and win. But I dare say, or knowing Flano
ain't about that.
The little that we know Flano, that ain't his go.
No.
Flano's old school. He comes from the Ricky mould. He did his tutelage under Ricky. I dare say you don't put someone like that on show because I think it's what's the best way of putting this and not sort of throwing him under the bus?
No. I understand it.
It's just like he was excited. He loves the game. He's got energy, but there's just ways you go about things.
Sometimes wingers don't know what the score is. I'm serious. They're fucking out there just talking to the crowd. Matty Utah was like that as well. Man, what are you fucking carrying on about?
Yeah.
We're getting beat by fucking 10 or 12 or 14. You score the winner like you did in the grand final.
Yeah.
Do what you want, Haz and Matty. But anything before that was just rules. But it's a totally different generation.
Go hard on celebrations.
Oh, he was just mad. Cocky swag like Toto.
Yeah.
That's like real low key, but he's giving it to you, right? Nothing like that. Nothing like this shit. It just gets slammed down. But it's a different sort of like generation. I get it. Yeah. But like just know the score. Know where you are. I know you're at Cogra. I get it. But I'm like, I think he'd do that at Belmore. Mate, I think he's got it. He just don't give a fuck, mate.
He is doing that down 50-0.
Not bagging the player. I'm just understand that there's going to be you're going to get some clap back critique. Just so if you're winning, Christian, do what the fuck you want. Not when it's 28-10.
Remember last year when they scored a try up at Brizzy, and I don't know if they ended up winning that game. It was against the Broncos, and Moses Sully went to go kick the ball into the crowd, and he nearly fucking did his ACL. So Tuipulotu comes in to celebrate like this.
Yeah.
He loves a meaty. Yeah. Christian put
Reece Walsh loves one too. He's going to go over the fence one day.
Yeah.
He goes too high.
Yeah.
He's fucking...
They come in flying, yeah. So he comes in and he tried to do the big, a different one. What's the
chest-to-chest one?
The chest-to-chest. And
he's 110.
Moses Sully's celebrating, about to kick the ball into the stands, and he hits his leg he was charging down a drop goal.
I don't want to see any of that.
Yeah, so they've got to sort of just have a little word to him because you know what, Christian Tuipulotu comes from the
Gutho needs to, Cookie needs to, and the leaders like Val and go, oh boys, this is the way it is. Do what you want when you win and everything like that. And even if it's a close game and you score a try, it's 6-4 or whatever it is, 10-8, we're in the lead.
Even then I want to be up.
Even in that, you've got to be confident when you're going to win the game when you're carrying on with fucking Johnny Manziel. Hopefully he doesn't like Johnny Manziel.
We Johnny Manziel with Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Show me the money.
Johnny Manziel was Johnny Football, remember? And he was that all the time at Texas A&M.
Johnny Tuipulotu.
Yeah, Johnny Tuipulotu. He was changed his name. He should get a shirt like this, just like that.
I love it with all fucking 7 or 8
rings. Tom Brady, the GOAT. See, and another thing, as you just said before, he did his tutelage under the great Jorge Tafua.
Yeah, shout out to
who was very stoic, is it? You know, when he took nonchalant, very stoic when he scored. You know he scored, and that's about it.
I used to have this running joke with Georgie. Whenever I ran over and he sort of looked over and sometimes you run over and it's like a 50-50 and you don't know if you got it down. I'd run over to Georgie and I'd go, Georgie, did you get it? And he'd go, try. Try every time. Whenever he went like this.
The Fanua Blake's the best one as well.
He does, mate. He's the OG Adden, but Adden does it when he knows he's 100% scored.
Oh, yeah,
but
it's a flex. It's a flex. I love the big boy flex. I love it. I wish that was around when I was playing. Fucking jeez, I'd carry on.
Imagine OG just pushing it down 20 metres out. Origin running over fucking Matty Bowen or Billy Slater.
You joke.
Stop it. This one is the comment of the week so far, and this is, I love little things like this. Yeah. And this one comes from Mick has the facts. Scope and Mason are going to come to blows one of these days over that aircon. Laugh out loud. They've got this subtle battle about it every episode.
I think it comes to me and just. Can you feel it, Lukey?
Yeah.
It fucking just hits me here.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I can't get the degrees right.
I'm not getting it down on me, so like it's coming straight down on you.
It is straight on my head, on my ear and that. It's just fucking when it gets cold, I wear a fucking beanie.
Should we move this?
Nah, fucking leave it.
We got to figure out a way.
We need to find the controller and find the decent one.
Mick has the facts. You are our comment of the week so far. That's a doozy.
Because you were boiling last week and I was like,
sweating.
I'm fucking freezing. Yeah, all right.
But we've had a little battle back and forth before, for sure. Over there. All right, this one comes from Had It Knees. Boys, hear me out. So we all know we have the triple OG Willie Mason. We have the skipper horoscope. But I can't help but feel sorry for our boy Lukey Stowe. Surely we can come up with something from the L1s as a community. My suggestion is the bro, Lukey Stowe.
Yeah, the bro's all right.
The bro, Lukey
The bro's all right.
Cheers, legend.
Lukey keeps upgrading his chair too.
Yeah, nice.
I just went to carry it out today.
Like that.
I was like,
no, that's smart. It's way more comfortable. You look like you fucking.
You look so much better, like way more relaxed.
Yeah, easy for the lappy.
Just chilling, bro. The bro, Lukey Stowe?
Yeah, the bro. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Let us know in the comments too if you think we've got a better one.
Yeah.
We've got the triple OG, we've got the skipper,
the bro.
And the bro.
What would be my name in
Lukey the bro Stone
or Samoan?
Yeah, try.
Luke.
Get some fucking.
Put it in the comments.
Get the Usos out there and the Doggos.
I'm not too sure. I don't know the translation for Luke.
It's a biblical name, man.
Is it? Is Luke biblical?
Yeah. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Okay, there you go. On, yeah, I'm not up to scratch with my Bible studies.
No, that's all good.
All right, let's get this one from Katia. It's so good seeing the boys from a camera. Wait, good seeing the boys going from a camera and a couple of mics with Lukey behind the glass screen of emotion to DoorDash and TGM sponsorship advertisements. L1 since day one, so I feel like I'm growing with the potty, and I feel like when the boys accomplish things like this, my sub wasn't for nothing. Fucking love it, boys.
Appreciate that. I think
Vlandis should consider doing rivalries in Vegas instead of just whoever puts their hand up next year. Imagine a battle of the West. Doggies and Eels would have the whole of Western Sydney in Vegas, up the wires. I love that one, brother. And US, we love their division rival.
100%. I think that's going to happen next year. I think that's happening.
Yeah. I've heard Bulldogs Dragons, mate.
Yeah, well, the Western Sydney's represented. The Bulldogs are there. Yeah. And then next year might be Para.
Yeah.
You can't, there's similar demographics, same sort of area. I think the Dogs should have 25,000 there.
Imagine how hectic that would be. Para versus Dogs. I reckon Dragons versus Dogs.
We will be there next year in Vegas.
You look at the crowd on the weekend at Nostrada Jubilee. That's twice now they've packed it out in 2 years. So
it's always been a gangster ground to play at, man. Some of the walls that we used to have there back in the day.
It's a
infamous 06 one when we did that. That was fucking brutal.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah, I went back and watched it.
I even watched games like that and go, fuck, how did we do that?
You know what?
Do you know what I mean? I just can't picture myself even doing that. It's like a whole nother lifetime ago. Seriously.
You watch games now and you go, like, there's no way I could play. And then you know how physical it is. And then you go back and watch some of the games like that and you go, oh, I actually did do it.
I was that dude, mate. Don't worry about it.
And it was fucking torture. Yeah. And I am that fucking dude.
And I was that fucker. Don't worry about it.
All right, let's review my bets for the weekend. My best bet multi started off really well when the Broncos beat the Roosters. The Knights -3.5. They didn't score enough. They only won by 2. I think the Knights will be better from that run. And I do not know how Turbo didn't score a try at Brookie because he was in everything but.
Just give 3 away.
So I missed out on my best bet multi. Friday, same game. I was looking pretty good when Marzu went over, but I didn't get Schiller. So I had Knights, Marzu, tick, but no James Schiller. On Saturday, I had the same game multi of Manly to win. They looked really good. Turbo was a part of that multi as well, so that killed that one. And Tommy Dearden, he was just flat out trying to tackle Elukwatu, let alone scoring any tries.
Oh, my God.
And my Sunday same game multi, that hit. So that gets us in the positive for the weekend. I had Pappy, he scored first. Coates didn't score long after. And then Will Warbrick took one to the house with an intercept. So that paid $5.
Yeah, nice.
All up, I spent $40 on the weekend, and I've got $50
We're winning
for this week. So we're up.
We're winning, mate. We're winning. That's a good.
And it is available.
You only just missed out. That's mad.
All those clips are in the Tab app as well. So if you're in there putting your bet on, you can click it. You can watch a bit of levels in Tab.
There you go. Nice and easy for you. Go in there, and you don't have to do any work. I talk about it on the show, obviously. And if you're struggling before the game, geez, I really like that bet, Pappy, Coates and Warbrick.
Sure.
I don't know how Turbo didn't score. Like, I could see the Knights.
So Turbo knew the bet was on. He's like, fuck Oz. I'm going to do 3 or 4 assists.
No, you know who killed me? Old Sabi Mendoza from Mighty Ducks, who can't turn fucking right and left and mate, he can't.
He's like Zoolander. I can't turn left.
No, you know who I was comparing him to? You know the old Mighty Ducks, and you know Louis Mendoza, how he's the speed skater, but he can't stop, so therefore he can't score.
Emilio Estevez, the coach.
Yeah, that's Sabi. He can't draw and pass when it gets to the point when he makes a break. He's either just
burn him, and he's got no room to move either, so he doesn't know what to do. Mate, develop a right foot. Please, Sabi.
Tommy Turbo, and that's running next to him, like every time. And I reckon he's just going, don't pass it.
Yeah, he fucked a few up.
Just burn it.
But sometimes he's just too close to the sideline.
He's too fast. He can't slow down.
He looks good.
He doesn't
know how to slow down. How can you? Once he gets up, he's fucking done, mate.
Yeah, he's
got
to be able to find a way to just like shorten up his steps.
All I'd be doing if I was his coach or trainer is like, all right, get off like 30, 40 metre sprint and then fucking draw and pass.
Mate.
Because he's going to get into those positions so many times this year and he has to execute. This is not a joke anymore. Like, if he's getting them on short sides, because Manly looks like they're just playing all three sides of the field, everything, middle, left, right, fucking wherever they want to go, short sides. And then, so if he's down there, like he in a big game, he needs to execute that, not just fucking just get tackled.
Yep. He needs to be hanging around Leo Hopewadi. He's a freak.
He's got silky
and
skills.
He's got silky stuff.
I love his hair too. I don't know what he's rocking there.
Yeah.
It's like a 1980s sort of, like a freshie. Yeah. Like just something. Like his old man would have rocked back. I reckon Hopper's dad, the granddad, the granddad haircut. That's like my uncles would be like in the 70s and 80s. That's the hair they rock when they come over from Tonga.
Yeah, it's an in-between haircut.
Thick one, but with a mad hairline like mine. He's fading it up, and the sidelines and the sideburns. It's fucking on purpose, mate.
Yeah,
I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do when you go in and ask for one of that. Who cuts it?
Ooh, it could be a home job.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
just a little trim over here. Just trim.
One of the cuzzies come around. Yeah, shout ducks.
Nice.
All right, let's get to our Red Bull OG Bull for this week. You had a couple of options, mate.
I did.
But you settled on?
I settled on Munster. I looked at his age. He's 30 years old, and I know he's on a revenge tour. He's on a revenge tour because the mantle is getting tested from Luai from last year. Yep. Everyone's going, Luai is better than him. And when you're about it, like money, he's like, fuck you. You're going to get it this year. If I'm full strength and I'm going at it every single game, this is what you're going to get.
Tommy didn't look good for
Tommy
Australia.
did, Tommy did. Everyone's talking about Did and Luai, Cleary. They're the halves for Australia. He's like, hey, I've got something to say about that. You know, like when you're about it like that, he would have went, you know what? You'll see. I'm going to have the best. You can tell in his body already, like how he looks, right? He looks fit. He looks lean, even though he does look like that all the time. But you just tell in his legs and everything like that, and he just looks a lot sharper. And he fucking went at it yesterday.
You know, it's a great sign. Him playing in the last trial.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it back. I'm going to win. I'm going to win the comp. I'm going to win the comp. I'm going to get revenge against Penrith. I'm going to get my spot back. Win the Wally Lewis. Be up there with the Dally M's and just all the top 3 categories he's going to be in. And I think. No better start than yesterday. So,
he had 3
Cam
try
Munster.
assists, 3 line.
I'm not even going to say. I can't even say stats. It's just it probably doesn't read out like he was the most dominant in the comp, but he fucking was.
Yeah, he was. Mate, he had 6 try contributions. So
Yeah.
if it wasn't the last pass or a kick, which was beautiful to Coates, he had the second last pass that put Meaney through.
Yeah.
Which then Meaney gets a try assist through draw and pass and
the one to Katoa as well. The one to Katoa
as well. He was outstanding.
Just
and
the
you're right.
running. Like when he runs, it scares the hell out of me because he's so strong. He's so strong. And I know that Para weren't at their best, but that's what happens. This is the NRL. If you're not at your best, you're going to get a guy like Munster, Harry Grant, all those blokes going to fucking run straight through you. And he was right on. DCE wasn't far behind.
DC was good.
DCE was really good, but Money had some better contributions and he just took it on.
And Levels very own for 2025. Great start for our man Cam Munster, and Fozzie will be coming up this week. So if you've got any questions for Foz, get it into us because I'm going to be having a chat to him over the next couple of days. My scope's young buck for this week, mate, and the age, he's just gone past the age barrier for me, but in terms of games, it makes him available because he's only played about 30 of the best due to really unfortunate circumstances. Cody Ramsey played New South Wales Cup on the weekend, Mace. He is the feel-good story of 2025. So he hasn't played a professional game since the back end of 2022. He was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. It's a chronic bowel disease. He spent 2 years in and out of hospital. He underwent extensive surgeries, not only to come back and play footy, mate, to fight for his life. Originally, the doctors have told him, don't even worry about footy. This is just about getting your health right and being healthy for his young family. He's got a daughter. He lost 25 kilos, mate. And he's still currently at 80 kilos right now. To put it into context, at the back end of 2022, he was 90 kilos playing NRL first grade and mixture of New South Wales Cup. He had 14 carries on the weekend in New South Wales Cup for 180 metres, 2 line breaks, 1 try assist and a try. And we interviewed him on Sunday, me and Jimmy Smith, and it's one of the better interviews that I've ever done.
What a legend, man.
When you talk about gratitude and you talk about, going through different things in your life and continuing to fight, I'm lucky enough to be calling the Dragons game down at Illawarra this week. I forget who they're playing in first grade. I think they might be playing. It's not the point anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I'll be going down to watch him before because if you get an opportunity, go and listen to the interview that me and Jimmy Smith did with him in SEN. Sort of getting goosebumps now talking
I didn't
about
know
it.
he went through that, the young Ramsey kid.
He was. I think there was.
He's outside back, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he was in a hospital.
He was playing all right too when he was hit the scene.
He was, mate.
Fuck.
He was.
Jeez,
So
thoughts
he's
and prayers. Well done.
Yeah, he's 80
Congratulations,
kilos right now. Yeah. So to see him come back,
He'll be back in first grade this year.
I hope so.
Some part. Yep.
Look, and that would be an even better story. But just the adversity, I guess the shout out to the Dragons, the NRL, the RLPA, anyone who's had anything to do with this. And I was going to say young kid, but he's 25 now, mate.
Yeah.
He hasn't played first grade in 3 years because of what's happened to him. So shout out to Cody Ramsey, rooting for you.
Good shout.
Continue to play well, play strong, pack on those kilos again for the rest of the year.
Fine.
And the whole of the NRL community and us Levels are rooting for you this year, mate.
Well said.
All right, let's get into the replies for this week. We've got a number of replies, I guess, talking about us petitioning for a club challenge over there, Mace. So the club challenge time Super League. This one comes from YK Alex. Boys, I am so confused as to how the World Club Challenge would even be feasible in Vegas. The Super League is not a part of the NRL and Vegas is the season opener. Say the NRL team win there, not getting the points, but just an extra game, and how do they make up for that? I don't understand the World Club Challenge chat for Vegas. So, as you know, this is my compromise for that. The Titans currently had the bye for round 1. So you could have the team that has the bye. So
Just make him, whoever won the comp gets the bye.
this would be problematic. Yeah, this would be the hardest part is planning it so late, but whoever wins the comp, they get the bye round 1.
Yep.
And they treat this as their last trial and probably only trial, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want them trialing or playing in a game of any meaning so close to the season without it, removing.
That'll be on the club, but
yeah,
that'll be up to the coaches.
Remove trials going into it, and then they just play the World Club Challenge, and it's the bye week for them, and then they come back and get into the regular season in round 2. I don't know what the compromise is for the Super League. Sorry, I'm not too sure how their bye season would work, but
I think it means more to Super League than does the NRL to keep it alive. If we don't come to some sort of agreement, I'm sure the NRL will be happy to fucking let it go.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? Because of the All Stars game, because of this Vegas thing. And if
Origin,
everything
footy.
like that, and players wins, not players wins, but like there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games, and if it's one game which we don't prioritise as highly as Super League, then if they don't come to the party with that, it'll be gone. So we need to, and I don't want it to be gone.
Yeah, I
think it's a fucking great. I think it's a great thing, and I think it needs to be played in Vegas.
Yeah.
See, it's simple. Otherwise, I know what coaches are like, and we don't look at the World Club Challenge like they do, like we're the world champs. No,
it's just a glorified trial, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just it's great. Put it over there.
Yeah.
There's your third game.
Also, this one comes from it comes from no one because I've removed the name, so sorry. But Super League has scrapped promotion and relegation since IMG come in scope. So thank you for that. I know that guy. He's an L1 from day one. He's a passionate English fan who messages us all the time. So I wasn't aware of that. Thanks for that information.
What's IMG?
IMG is the brand that's taken over the Super League in the last couple of years. So they, rather than doing the relegation promotion system, I think they've got like a point system, and you've got to meet a certain criteria, whether it's fan bases,
good.
Attendance.
Because you can't have the good teams.
Facilities. You've got to tick a certain amount of boxes, and then you can stay in the Super League. If you don't, then I think
Wigan when Nelly got relegated.
Did they?
Yeah, it was when we were over there.
Yeah.
It was fucking 2016. They were in the bottom 4 for ages.
No, St Helens were.
Was it one of the big
one
dogs?
Of the big teams.
Yeah, it was just like, dude, you can't do that.
Or Warrington.
I don't know.
Maybe Warrington. Warrington.
It was one of the real big teams. Just like, they're going to get relegated. I'm like, I'm glad they brought that rule in.
Yeah, they smoked everyone in the bottom 4. But they were in the bottom 4.
They were in the chance. They were in a chance to get relegated. I thought it was Wigan.
Yeah,
but Wigan were in that position as well one time.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, no, it was. I believe it was Warrington. All right, this is the chat around, and we'll sort of put a bow on this now with the Warriors chat, and look forward to, I guess, breaking down their teams on Thursday once we get the team list. But this one comes from Jessa, and there was a couple of people that were sort of in the agreement with Jessa. I had some similar comments over the last week or so, and it's with regards to the agenda around Tomato Martin to 7. Not from you guys, but just the whole of Australian media. So he's only played 9 NRL games at 7. He doesn't have the kicking game that many criticise Metcalf for. He's also 29 years old, and when he got into the opportunity last year when SJ was injured, he didn't particularly take the bull by the horns and make it his. Disagree there. I thought he was great when he controlled the team.
One of the better players.
One of their better wins was at Magic Round when Shawnee was out, and he was awesome. I understand Metcalf is young, and I'd even argue Tanner Boyd might even be the better option at 7 currently. This team isn't going to win a premiership this year. Even the most loyal fans can recognise that. So why not build for the future? Tomato Martin has honestly looked his best when he played fullback in the trials and for Brisbane before joining us. Before that, he played 6 next to Michael Morgan at the Cowboys. So Jessa, he's not sold on them. Yeah, some good points.
Good points.
But I will say, 29 years old is not old in the rugby league right now for halves. You can play another 5 years. So if you are planning ahead, there's a great opportunity for Tomato Martins to still make. Look at Jamal Fogarty in Canberra at the moment. Yeah. He didn't really hit the scene. Cody Walker until they were about 27, 28. Yeah. Now they're without those two guys. I know there's a 7 and a 6, but without those two guys, they'd be lost. So there's still plenty of time for Tomato Martin to establish himself as a premier half in the competition. And I also think he's got, when I watch them play, I do like the shout of him playing fullback.
No way, not fullback.
No, I do think he does play well at fullback and give the attack probably more options. But I think defensively, Chance Nickel-Klogstad is the best option for that. But yeah, there's plenty of time for Tomato Martin and Luke Metcalf to strike up a relationship, I think.
Yeah, the coach has got a big decision this week.
Yeah, huge.
I think he's got a really big decision because I don't want him to. He doesn't want him to be in that predicament like with Adam O'Brien. Just keep swapping and change because you got a lot of halves there, right? And you just don't know what fits with what, and you just have to bite the bullet there. I think Tamare looks good at 7. What I've seen of him at 7.
Yep.
And Metcalf needs to run the fucking ball. So the main thing is to push Metcalf to 6, figure out who the 7 is. 7 just needs to dictate around, get all the boys, get them to positions. You're not breaking the game open. Metcalf's the game breaker.
Yep.
The 7 is the orchestrator around, right? Get him to different places. So get him to the right side of the post so we can have a long shift to the left and vice versa, left post, middle, whatever, middle third. Not hard.
So it's less about Tomato Martin.
Less about Tamari Martin. That's more about Metcalf.
Okay.
I just think because I think Tamari's a well-established sort of player. He hasn't played a shitload of games. He had a few little health injuries and everything like that. He come back. He's proved himself again. He's a footy player, mate. I think he's always been a half. He's just been in different sort of systems that's made him play fullback, 5'8", half. But just stick with him.
Out of all the options, he's the one that doesn't look like he gets flustered as much as.
No, he's got a cool head.
Yeah.
He's got a cool head.
That's why I like him at 7.
And the other fella, I think he can play great off the bench.
Yeah.
14.
Chanel, agreed.
I think Chanel can play. I think he can play 9. He can play anywhere in the back line. He's just a footy player.
Yeah.
Bit more impact.
And then if anything was to happen to an outside back, I know they've got Roger on the wing, but you could move Tomato to fullback to just give some more options offensively as well.
It'd be interesting to see what he does with Tuipulotu as well.
All right, let's get to some YouTube questions. This is around Robbo and his depressor. Robbo's depressor.
Did he have a good depressor?
It was rough. It was rough. He was trying to be positive, and I understand it because you can't go in. He's got a young team. He can't go in and spraying. The message that he would have been portraying to the media would have been different to what it was internally. This one comes from Every Day I'm Vlogging, but he hates that username, so he would like to be referred to as a Bulldog. Boys, L1 from day one. Ready to go?
Yeah, mate.
All right, Roosters tragic here. Did you boys happen to watch the post-game press conference last night with Robbo? 20 seconds in and I was gobsmacked. The bloke's delusional as fuck. He had 50 put-on-yous, the middles were walking, and he reckons they showed effort. Where he loses my respects is he doesn't send a rocket up the boys for mediocrity. Ricky wouldn't have handled that. Ricky would have handled that heaps differently. Yeah, for sure he would have. And that's why he is a respected coach. Would you boys like playing for a coach that is gentle, like Robbo, like that after a hammering? Or would you prefer as Ricky Stewart type who tells it how it is? Love you, boys.
I prefer a Ricky Stewart, because sometimes, I'm sort of play like you just leave it all out in the field and just say if some other players didn't, you'd fucking want someone to rocket them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A coach like Ricky.
If it's not the
Folksy,
coach, maybe a leader,
Wayne
captain.
Bennett, like the coaches that I've had, fucking straight front foot. You know what I mean? So it's just like and then that's what brings the best out of you. That's what brings the best out of you. If I was out of line, if I didn't play good enough, bang, Willie, what are you fucking doing, mate? Halftime or whatever it was. So you don't really want those roastings from your coach, but like when it's like that, I don't think I've ever been in a position like that when it's just been that bad. Round 1.
Yeah,
it's getting laid out like that. It's pretty hard for a coach, and they've heard the different. I think where they're at now with the Roosters, same voice, 15 years. It starts unless
new crop.
It's a whole new crop of kids.
Can we just quickly? I want to get back to them because I think, and I want to know if you agree with this. You didn't see the presser. Robbo was obviously supportive and trying to look at the positives.
Yeah.
What Robbo says to the media could be completely different to what he says to the playing group in the locker room as well.
Yeah, of course. So don't think that's... Don't think... Yeah. So this guy's probably thinking he just goes in there and goes, okay, same energy.
Yeah.
Fuck no. Different energy. Robbo's got one in him.
Yeah.
Jeez, you can only let about they reckon about 3 or 4 a year.
Yeah.
Max. You can't really go at it and go bang at round 1. You just got to look at round 1 and go, all right, we're way off.
Sticky uses all his up by Origin.
Sticky loads up. He's got a fucking 12-gauge shotgun. Unlimited rounds.
Mate, I got one for you. Yeah. 2009 Roosters versus South. You got done 52 to 12. Round 1.
I didn't play.
Is that when you
ACL? Yeah.
Okay.
So fuck off.
I was just going through history.
Look at him trying to get me. I missed that game. Yeah, I was out for the ACL.
Was that 2009?
2009, yeah. That's when, remember when little Sandow was playing, and I think Skiddy caught the ball and Sandow used him, and then stood over top and then used him again. Yeah, that was that game. We had a shitload of injuries, but not the point. That was pretty bad. But like fucking, I didn't play, so I've never really been in a position round one where we got fucking absolutely pumped, and you question everything about your team.
Yeah,
that's where these teams that we'll get to and we'll break them down. Yeah. You're like, fuck, I thought we were on the right track, and the Roosters is a little bit more tricky because of fucking they've got better players than Parramatta and North Queensland, I find. I just think they've got like you got Radley, you've got like Lindsay Collins, you've got
just
you've got a bunch of players, mate.
The reason I was worried about both teams going into it, and I had a little play responsibly on the Broncos and the Storm. Three debutants for the Roosters, 2 off the bench. Like the bench of Zach Docker-Clay, steep. Zach's played. He's a good friend of the family. He's played about 30 games in 10 years. Yeah. Blake Steep played 2 or 3 games last year, and then they had 2 rookies on the bench. So there's a genuine excuse for depth and the age on the bench. And then also Rolsey debuted 2 off the bench as well. The big boy that come on and ended up playing.
Important positions too. Like your half, like your fullback. He's played like 2
1 game.
Like it's very, and you're going against a stacked side in Melbourne, right? Like these teams that got beaten, right, convincingly, they played against the fucking best teams in the comp. Yeah. And they're predominantly going to be down, I think, nearly in the bottom 4, to be honest, right? And I'm just like, this is what you get when you debut young kids in key positions and you got injuries like Mitch Moses, and you go up against a red-hot side. This was always going to happen in round 1.
Well, it doesn't get any easier for the Roosters, mate. They've got Penrith at Combank on Friday.
Yeah,
after a 2-week break from Vegas.
Yes,
that's dangerous. Hard, could get ugly for the Roosters again. So, Bulldog, looking forward to that.
And I think sometimes just say if you go to floggings that in round 1, like I think just say 10 years ago, it was like, I think you could stop the bleeding a little bit, right? You can't stop it now.
It's so hard, mate.
You get momentum and you're fucking, it's 12-0, it's 18-0, and then boom, boom, next minute it's 36-0. And like it happened to all the 3 sides. It's like, and you're sitting behind them thinking, what the fuck is happening? I haven't had the ball in 10 minutes and you're going, you can't stop the bleeding whereas 10 years ago, and we just say when we were playing, kick it out. Do something, change the momentum. It's very hard to get momentum. It's very hard to change momentum now. So when that other team is red hot and you are fucking way down, missing assignments on defense and your contact's not good enough and you're off a little bit, that means fucking 30 within 25 to 30 minutes. And then you're done. Good luck trying to come back. Like even the Bulldogs showed like fucking boom, 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 28-4, 28-10.
Yeah.
That didn't look like that game.
It didn't reflect
how hard that game was. And I was like, those first 3 games, the first 6 sets of 6, I was like, those other lesser teams that got beat were fucking so far off. I was just like, this is going to be a long, long day.
I think you'll agree with this. The only thing that stopped Manly, Melbourne and Broncos is complacency. They just got to such a big lead that they got a little bit rats with their execution. But they won't do that against better teams.
No, you can't.
Probably not 3 or 4 weeks into the season. They even had a little bit of rust. That's the only thing that slowed them down, all 3 of those big teams.
It's very hard.
All right, let's talk about kickoff receptions. And this was evident on, which game was I calling?
Tigers?
No, the Bulldogs Dragons game when someone didn't put their foot. I think it might have been Marcelo Montoya. Who stepped on the dead ball line and was lucky to get away with it. So this one comes from James Skeeber. Hey boys, L1 from day one, random one, but it always bugs me as my under-12s coach used to drill this into me. Why don't the players stand on the touch dead ball line of kickoffs? You don't need to catch it. You only have to touch the ball and your foot dead and it will be out on the full. I see way too many players too shallow and then panic when the ball is close to going up and then end up backpedaling to mess it up. It's much easier to move forward than backpedal. No stats, but I reckon 10 to 15% of kickoffs could be out on the full if receiving teams knew the rules or used them to their advantage. Love the potty boys, up the doggies. Yeah. James Skipper, you wrote this before the round on the weekend. You will be filthy. So it is up to the Mason. You'll agree with this as well, I think. it's the front rower or whoever's receiving the ball off the guy catching it should be on the dead ball line.
He should be behind the dead ball line.
He should be waiting on the dead ball line, and if it's going long,
the one who's catching it should be waiting on the dead ball line.
No, he can wait on the because if it's short, he's still got to be able to.
It's got to be in between the try line, dead ball line. Just know where the ball fucking is.
If the front row is just standing on the dead ball line, he gets a good look at it. He can communicate to the guys about to catch the ball. Leave it, it's mine. Just touch it, like as James Skibber says, because the Bulldogs missed an opportunity and they got lucky because Marcelo Montoya caught the ball. Not only should he have been standing on the dead ball line and just knocked it, he actually stepped on the line and he got away with it.
Yeah,
he got away with it. He should have been a dropout.
That could have changed the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's just communication there. And these kickers can put it on a dime now.
They're so good.
They're kicking it in a 5 metre block there, right? That's where they're aiming for, in the right side, so they can get absolutely lined up. So if you can't even get across to the middle, that's how direct that's how precise they are with that kick. So that first contact's nearly on the inside dash line. That's what they want.
Just comes back to having footy IQ, though, doesn't it? Mate?
It is,
You've got to be aware.
It's the communication of
game awareness, footy awareness.
From the winger to the halfback to the front row, that little triangle there.
Yep. I want my winger almost sitting right on the post, on the corner post. I want my receiving front rower, middle, or whoever it may be, standing on the dead ball line. And I probably want my catcher, whether it be a half or winger these days, maybe half a metre before the goal line.
Back rowers there, and there's a lot of people. You just got to, as soon as it hits, you should be watching the ball so bang. All right, the back row could be landing on the 20. Back row's got it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It could be landing on the 10 metre. So when the half is standing on the try line, just move up. Yeah. And front rower, get your ass off there because you're going to get it because you don't want your 7 to get hit either. Wingers, everybody up. I don't know. Just sometimes they just sit back and go, "Oh, fucking, what's happening?"
It's just sometimes it's just really good athletes playing the game that aren't aware, have no game awareness.
You're just going, "Oh shit, what do I do?" Let the fucking ball go.
All right, let's get to this one. Comes from Simon Tomlinson. Boys, loving the podcast. Keep it coming. At the start of the season, there are players that are unlucky not to be making the start in 17. How important was it for you guys to get feedback from the coach on why you weren't getting picked? Must be hard on some players after a big preseason not to be picked. Also, Cobbo is looking good already for leading try scorer this year. Looks right on that right wing, doesn't he?
It's weird with this. I'll give you a story in 2003, right? So just after that year, 2002, was a current Australian player and everything like that. And folks, he wasn't a communicator, right? He'd just watch. And I was only 21, I think, 21, 22. And then a week before round 1, he goes, "I'm not playing you."
What?
I don't like your fucking attitude.
I was going to tell a story from me. But
No. This is a doozy. I don't like your attitude. Wow. I went, what the fuck? When you told me this, just say if I did have an attitude problem, because I would have been fucking around at training and stuff. I was 21 years old.
Just played Aussie.
I was just it wasn't like I wasn't trained. I was training my ass off at that time. But he would have saw a couple of little things that could have nipped in the butt before Christmas, right? And then the 8 weeks after Christmas, and then week before round 1, he goes, "I'm not playing you." I was like, what? Why?
Yeah.
He goes, "I don't like your attitude. Your attitude's sucked for whatever weeks." And I'm like, it would have been fucking really nice to know.
Yeah.
And I told him to get fucked and everything. I said, fuck you. I'm just because I'm thinking, why didn't you tell me this when you fucking thought I had a problem?
Yeah.
I can rectify it and fix it.
Yeah. So you didn't have a problem with what he was saying, but I didn't have some sort of communication.
You need to communicate with me.
Okay.
10 weeks when you had the problem. Yeah. And he didn't. It was a week before. And I was like, so I didn't play round 1, 2003.
What?
Yeah.
I was going to tell a story. I can't believe you didn't play.
And I was like, fucking, I was that dude as well. I was like, holy shit. And I said, and that's me and him started fucking just butting heads. I'm like, fuck, you got to tell me this shit, mate.
Yeah.
That's what coaches do. Good coaches communicate he just wasn't a very good communicator with things like.
And it doesn't come to, it's hard too. Because I've got a similar story with Toos, but your one fucking.
Yeah, mate. I was fucking, it wasn't like I was a fucking 19-year-old. Yeah. I was so pumped to play fucking round 1.
Everyone is.
Everyone's so pumped. And then no one knew, and there was no, he didn't say anything. Why was Willie not playing? He's not injured, and he's not fucking and that's when people started making shit up. Fuck, this something's happening.
Yeah,
I said because I think I spoke to someone that said, "Why did he play?" I said, "He's just not fucking playing me." Attitude problem.
So you played round 2 though, Lukey?
You definitely played a 15 jersey.
Yeah, fucking off the bench.
Do you remember how they went without you?
I don't know. I fucking didn't go to the game.
They did.
I didn't go to the game.
They got dusted.
You would have been furious.
At 18.
We got beat. But it's not my fair. But I'm saying I didn't.
Well, obviously, it's
so
not
back
your
to the like people back then. If you weren't playing, you didn't have to go to the games. We changed that rule, Rennie and I, because exhibit fucking so 2005 we were all injured. So back then you had like we're not playing. Fuck it, I'm going to go out. Saturday night, I'm not playing. Fuck this. I was out for like 20 rounds. I did my Liz Frank. So I had in 2005. I think Bobcat was out. Ogre was out. We had about like 6 or 7 starters. It was a fucking great game. I think we ended up winning. But we went to an exhibit concert, and then. And then everyone's like they took photos and shit of us, and they go, "Why aren't you at the game?" And so it changed the whole fucking the rules to.
So you ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, changed the rules for everyone.
Yeah, going to the concert.
Going to a concert, and aren't you guys playing? We're not fucking playing.
That's
so
heavy,
the rules were very, very loose back then. I was just like, yeah, you can go to the game if you want, but I'm like, no, I'm not fucking playing.
Well, it's not like you get papped on social media back then.
Well,
No, not then. But it wasn't. Now, like every game, if you're part of the squad, like I knew, like you just didn't. Like most of the senior players just say, like when I was first coming through, like just say Ricky Stewart or whatever, weren't playing, they weren't going to games. It just wasn't a written law. It was like there's a lot of grey area, but like if you had some shit to do, you go do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I got an exhibit concert to go to. Yeah. And Rennie Friend was fucking with me. So, look, fucking 2 Bulldogs. That was massive news, yeah. They fucking hammered us.
You know why?
So they changed the rules.
Yeah, because it would take someone high profile for them not to be there. People look at it and go, shit, fuck, Willie Mason should probably be at the game.
No one, and because back then, no one cared. Yeah. No, and this is all throughout the NRL. Yeah. No one was going to games if you weren't injured. It wasn't a whole fucking, it wasn't a whole like reserve grade and everything watching you play.
Here we go. In a dramatic day at Edison Lane, Mason was hauled in to explain why he attended a rap concert featuring Exhibit rather than the Bulldogs season opener against the George Illawarra.
X, come give it to you.
He was killing it, X.
Bradley Clyde said, I supposedly gave Willie Mason permission to go to a concert rather than one of the most important games of the year. No one in their right mind would say that's okay to go to a concert instead of going to watch your teammates play.
Anyway, a lot of grey area. Not now.
Shout out to the reporter, James Hooper, 16th of March 2005.
Thanks, Hoops.
That's a young Hoops.
Hoops is there. Yeah, he was all right, mate. It wasn't the wrong thing. That's why everyone Clyde wasn't really, because it wasn't set in fucking concrete. Now it is.
But it was also the official after party at King's Cross nightclub.
I was 25, mate.
You are the fucking OG. Only you get away with that stuff.
You got your
Only you get, you change rules. That is fucking all time. I don't even want to tell mine. Mine's not even.
I love when you can dig up an article for that bat.
Continue that, because I think they didn't say, Rennie was with me, but he was a young kid, right? So, I copped, I just went, I'll fucking wear it, right? And then they said they named, Sonny at the after party and everything because they played the game and then they all come to the after party.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So Sonny played and then come after.
Yeah, I think they were saying that. And I'm like, look at the phone, look at the shirt. And Bulldogs.
We've just found a photo which we'll put into the show. It's Willie Mason and Exhibit. Exhibit is rocking an OG Mitsubishi Electric Nike Bulldogs jersey.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. Change the rules for the whole fucking NRL. Everyone has to turn up the games in their fucking uniform.
That is all time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Simon.
So
that's the clip of the week.
Yeah. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
Changed the game. What Malcolm Noe said, he purchased tickets. So I fucking bought tickets. It's 2020. It's 2005.
What was Exhibit like?
Yeah, it was sick. He was killing it then.
All right. Before we get into the games, mate, I'm just going to give everyone a bit of an update on some of the charges moving forward for games this year, so we can just get on top of any of the sort of incidents. So as we talked about, you mentioned it before, mate, Stephen Crichton and that dangerous contact. It's not going to just a fine is sufficient for that. Jacob Preston, he has a fine as well on his way. Emre Gula, he got a fine for sort of just getting a little bit sloppy there on Preston at the back end of the game. Ended up in a dangerous position. Matt Fiangai, he gets a fine as well. Just going down to the ones that matter here, who could be missing games. So Jack Whiten, he had a couple offences. He's got a grade 2 careless high tackle.
Jack.
And he's could potentially miss one.
Oh, fuck, he got, jeez. Who was it? Fuck, he hits hard, Jack Whiten. Got to watch when you're on that right side. You just don't see him coming.
What about
was it a youngster? Was he young?
He's on the left, so the right side for
the right side. I don't think it was. Was it Tallis? Was it Duncan Tallis?
No, they're on the same team.
Tallis Duncan. Duncan Tallis.
Duncan Tallis.
The other young fella, that 13. The
Plath.
13.
It was Plath. Was it Plath or Gilbert for the Dolphins? Anyway, so he's looking at one match with an early guilty plea, two, so that you'll probably have the results of this too, by the way, after the game. He had another one. It wasn't as bad.
Kulikefu Finifuiaki.
Finifuiaki, was it?
That's why. What about, sometimes with the HIA, like, if that was like, if you hit Finifuiaki like you hit Lindsay Collins would be off.
Yeah, they
Do you know what I mean? But like sometimes some heads are a bit harder than the others, right? You got to watch, you just got to watch out for their eyes and everything like that, because some people can take a lot more punishment than others. So Funifuaki had two massive headshots within 5 to 10 minutes, and he was still looking like he was sweet. Do you know what I mean? So I think like where they got to look at, different body types and different heads, man. Like some little halfback, they're probably going to be stretching off some of the hits that Funifuaki took.
Yeah, so Jack Whiten's looking at one match for an early guilty plea, two if he fights it and misses out, and he only got a fine for the other one. Kurt Donahue had some dangerous contact, he's a fine. Angus Crichton, so he had dangerous contact. I guess that might have been on the charge down on, who was it, Benny Hunt, potentially? $3,000 fine, or if he fights and loses, two matches. So that's, I dare say they need him out there, so they won't be fighting that. Xavier Savage, these are from the Vegas game. Xavier Savage is missing a match with an early guilty plea, and Joseph Tarpany's missing two. Yeah. So those are two huge outs.
That's big
for them moving forward.
That's big. 2 games, start of the year.
Yeah, and they looked all right too, the Raiders, didn't they? All right, let's get to the games. Tell you looked all right. The Brisbane Broncos 50 defeating the Roosters 14. Again, this is what you do. This is what good head coaches do. Rather than, and I'll get to this a little bit later with Harbner, but Shibasaki, Jaszewski, and Corey Pakes, they all represent what makes this team so dangerous for me. Because on paper, or talent-wise, Mariner, Piakura, and probably even Walters are better talents, but Madge has gone in and given everyone a genuine opportunity to compete for a spot, and they've rewarded him round one, mate. Those three were really good.
You know what I really love is finally someone's figured out how to coach Payne Haas.
Yeah.
Fucking play him 30 minutes, front load, give me everything, and I'll give you a rest, and then just fucking see how we go in the back half, and then destroy the back half.
Rather than empty.
That's how you do it. Yeah. That's how I've been saying that for 3 or 4 years, how you do it with Payne Haas, because sometimes when he knows he's going to be out there for 60 minutes, like pretty much straight, have a little bit of a break and then finish the game off if need be. 30 minutes, look what he did. He can single-handedly destroy a team by himself.
Yeah, Kevy would leave him out there for 60, take him off for 5 and put him back on for the last 15.
Because he's got a massive motor and he doesn't fatigue or anything like that, but if you get him to front load and go, empty the tank for 30, big boy, that's what you get.
Yeah.
And Carrigan, you can leave Carrigan out there for 60 or 70 because he's a fucking weapon. He don't stop Carrigan. But when Payne Haas front loads, he's got that different fucking power, man. Different power, different footwork. He can just really destroy lines by himself, mate. Offloads, do whatever he wants. He's more destructive in that 55, 60 minutes than he was in 80 in any game that I've seen.
He was sweet when he come off too.
That's what I mean.
But they're looking after him long term.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's 24, 25 now. Oh, you want to get to about 33, 34, still at his peak. And he will if he can continue to do this.
What about the bench that comes on? So they take Payne Haas and Hetherington off, put on Jensen and Willison.
Yeah. Wilson looks like he's about it this year.
Yeah.
Looks fit. Jensen does a job. Kobe Hetherington is an unsung hero in that team.
Played well, didn't he?
He's like that guy. Where's Payne? Where's Carrigan? Fuck, I'm not running at Hetherington either. You know what I mean? Like it Bakes looks like he has a crack as well. Ricky looks like good. Krzyzewski looks good.
Yeah.
It looks like a really complete pack.
So imagine you're starting a set, right? Yeah. You're the Sydney Roosters. Kick return, Walsh, high alert, gets tackled. Selwyn Cobbe comes in for play 2. Fuck, he can bust us through the middle. High alert, got to make a tackle. Then you go either Paddy Carrigan, Payne Haas, and then all of a sudden you see KB Hetherington lining up for a hit up. So you go, I'll just relax a bit. He went fucking straight through on a couple of occasions just because I reckon the Roosters were just fatigued with everything that's coming at them.
A lot. There's a lot of moving pieces. You know, and then you got Reynolds around the back. You got Walsh around the back. You've got everybody like just sweeping motions in this fan sort of shape. It fucking looks good and it looks dangerous and it pulls their middles apart. And that happened on several occasions with all the really good teams with a lot of moving parts and a lot of danger.
Yeah.
You've
got to be able to have options.
Every play's a play. They're having at least three. It's sort of the rule. They're having at least three cracks at you. You're not just one out running anymore. If that one out runs there, he's got to push with him. You've got someone out the back, and it's up to that guy to pull the trigger. Right? If you got that, if you're getting at A and B, C's the one that they're trying to get at all the time. If you got decent ball players in the middle, and then if C slides out because someone's around the back, they fucking hit the front guy straight through, and it's a clear hole.
Yeah, agreed.
That's the most underrated play. We used to play that all the time. It's always at B, and C's always a guy you pick on.
Yeah, well, what about the prime example was when Corey Pates just shows to the left, comes back in, gets in around that BC defender, just does a traditional pass because everyone's like focusing on Reynolds and Hunt. They forgot about the middle.
As I said before, the game has evolved so much and people are starting to acclimate to the speed of the game. Now they're starting to put plays on because they're fit enough to do it. Because their leg speed's good enough. They've been working their asses off for 2 or 3 years in the preseason, playing these full high-speed games, and then they get into the season now and everything's a play. It's back what it was, like they're playing plays that they were 5 or 6 years ago, just before this fucking 6 to go rule. It just takes a while for the players to do it. Now the good teams and the better players start playing most plays. So they're going to see a lot of really good football and a lot of teams getting wiped out real quick.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of the high-speed grind that they go on. They train at a level where they do high-speed grinds for 7 or 8 minutes non-stop at training, right? Kick, all this sort of stuff non-stop at nearly 100%. It's hard to go to 100 every game at training, but they try to. The best teams do. Penrith do it and Melbourne do it. They're known for going at 100%. The lesser teams don't know how to train at 100%, right? Because they just don't know what it takes to be the best team. Penrith do it all the time. Ciro's implemented that into the Bulldogs culture. So they play these high-speed games, fucking 13 on 13 for 7 minutes, non-stop. Heart rate's at 180 to 200. Non-stop, no breaks. Have a break. 7 minute grind. 7 minute grind. 7 minute grind. And that's their fitness little fucking that's what they do. 7 minute blocks. And it's like a little 7 minute blocks. So that's why you'll see so many teams really just go at it like for non-stop for 7 minutes, really good. They don't miss it. They don't miss a beat, the really good teams. The lesser teams, fatigue starts happening, get on the back foot, miss tackles, miss assignments and everything like that. So
generate
the game,
a quick play.
But now everyone, because of these 7 minute grinds, they're probably doing 9 minute grinds now. And you're playing football. You're not just doing fucking one out shit. You're having a crack at them. Like depending where the ball lands on it, the 30 meter, you're having a crack on the second play, and then you'll come back to the middle. And then you're doing exactly what Melbourne's doing, exactly what Penrith's doing. They're having a really good crack at you. Several times in one set. They don't give a fuck if you got the ball on the 10 meter on the 10 meter line. If you don't want to defend properly, they're going to have a crack at you on the third play.
I reckon the most dangerous teams are as dangerous, probably better around the 50 meter mark, more so than in good ball.
You're going to get it. You're going to get 3 or 4 cracks at you.
Yeah.
And the 9's so tricky these days. The 7s, they're all coming back, man. All the footies come back. Like as I said, the game evolved so much, but it devolved the players a little bit. But now they're acclimated to the pace of the game. Yeah, it's going to be a great year for the elites, for the elite teams and the elite players.
All right, speaking of elite players, Ben Hunt. It's a different look than Ezra Mam. But he's going to give fullbacks fits. Having him on the left edge, just like he did on that little short side play when he sort of goes to Shibasaki. Corey Pates did a really good job jumping out right, coming back down the left. He probably doesn't have the explosion of a guy like Ezra Mount at this point in his career, but the smarts. And also the one thing that I thought was, I was worried about this game because I had a little bit of a play on the Broncos to win by a significant amount in this game. And then the rain started coming down, but the short kicking was outstanding. Beautiful. Reynolds on the right, him on the left.
Fucking great.
How do you defend? As a fullback, you're James Tedesco, you're trying to count numbers. Which way do you send the extra number, Mace?
You just don't know. And you got to rely on your middles under fatigue, like extreme fatigue.
Late
movements. Everybody moving both sides of the ruck. People around the back. You're like, fuck. That's why the best defensive system will probably win the comp.
Yeah.
Because you can stop that. And that's why Dylan Edwards and that machine that they got out at Penrith are going to be up there. That's what Melbourne look like. That's what Penrith that's what Brisbane are looking like. Cronulla looking like in little bits. Bulldogs looking like in little bits. Manly, they're the second tier.
Yeah,
the
agreed.
Top tier, second tier, and then fucking pretty much everyone else.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to stop, man. Fullback's so important. Very, very important. Can't have a quiet little church mouse out the back.
All right, let's get to the fullback for the Broncos. You could tell he was itching to explode.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple of occasions, like a really bad error when he tried to beat Teddy one-on-one rather than just drawing and passing. There were a couple of moments early in the half where Walsh is going to be Walsh. He's going to take on the line. He's going to try things. You feel like Madge has had a really good chat to him, like they're on the same page. But instinctually, there's always going to be that devil and the angel on the shoulders of Walsh. Do I have a crack? Do I? He always wants to have the play, and I thought he was good in this game, and it makes him even more dangerous because once he actually starts clicking and it gets to a game where he's required, then he's going to be so good this year.
And I think, Walsh wants the highlight reel. He's young. He loves that sort of stuff. But it's when he doesn't get the highlight reel that he really gets down on himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's where Madge comes in. And I didn't see that. I see him go,
yeah.
I saw that, but then he was over.
Yes.
He wasn't doing it for a set of 6 where he's back and you know what I mean? Like the talk goes down, all those sort of things that was happening the last couple of years.
On to the next.
Yeah. Next bit, next moment. So he's stay in the moment, forget about that, accept that it happened, don't carry your divots, all that kind of stuff. That's what Wayne used to say, if you make a mistake, just fucking accept it. Accept it,
don't
boom.
carry divots.
Yeah, don't carry divots, make a mistake, get on to the next play, especially at fullback, especially being Walsh, mate. He's the dude. He controls a lot of energy in that side, right? So when you're seeing him with his body language and fucking shaking his head, that's the leadership. When it comes up to him, Payne Haas, Carrigan, all those guys, Ben Hunt, Reynolds, hey, get next job. That's the communication that I was seeing there. And I'm like, all right, he's in a good space. He's going to get the highlight plays, fucking most times, right? But he's team first now. Yeah. And that's a dangerous team.
Do we have a predicament with when Azarem comes back?
Yeah. Fuck, he's going to probably play off the bench if Paix, because as I said, when Paix and Billy Walters are going to be going at it because they know when Ezra Mann comes back, and Ezra Mann might not come back into the 17, mate. How Madge is like. Yeah, I'm telling you, mate. When you fuck up like that,
disagree.
Yeah, when you fuck up like that and you're not a fucking Andrew Johns or a JT.
What if they go 8 from 10?
That's what I'm saying.
10?
He could be playing reserve grade for about 4 or 5 weeks. If Billy Walters and Paix kills it, because I said iron sharpens iron, they know someone's going to miss out and they know they're going to go on a big run. So subconsciously you're like, I need to play every fucking game like it's my last, because you want to be in those prelims, you want to be in the grand final, right? So you just want to consistently play your best every single game. And that's what's going to happen with Paix and Walters, because he's going to have to make a decision on one of those guys, because Paix will have to or Ezra, someone's dropping off the bench.
What about the OG Benny Hunt? He's now sitting, he doesn't want to play hooker.
Fuck no.
So he's going to fucking carve.
Yeah. Like you look good at 5'8". If they're 7 from 8, and because Benny Hunt's playing like he's fucking rejuvenated, whole new team, looks like you're going on a run, looks better, he's defensively a lot better than Ezra Mann anyway. That's half the game. Then Madge makes hard decisions. He don't give a fuck either. Yeah, he wants to win, mate. He doesn't. He's got he will not care at all. He'll be like, you're playing reserve grade. You're the one who fucked up, not me.
He's already shown it, mate. Like,
did Piacora go close to getting VB harder and index? Did he get that? I felt so sorry for him. Rocky Rennie and I just went, oh my God, he's 6 minutes on. Fucking 7 for 10. He's looking going, fuck, what did I do?
Freddie was saying in the coverage he was itching, walking up and down the side.
Oh, the poor bugger.
But like, this is going back to the man thing quickly, and it involves Piacura. Like I said it at the start, Mariner Piacura.
Yeah, man.
Are way more talented than Shibasaki and Krzyzewski, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Madge, they've put in the hard yards. Madge has rewarded them. Yep. And if Ben Hunt, Corey Paix, and Billy Walters don't give Madge a reason to drop him, and I can't envision it because I think the Broncos are legit, then that's a great position for them to be in.
Ezra Mann,
could require an injury.
He will force his hand. And he'll carve up. He'll have to force Madge's hand because he's too good for reserve grade. Yeah. But then, but if they're still winning, you're not changing the winning side. Madge is old school.
It might only be injury that gets an opportunity.
Yeah, it will be, and there's always injuries. And we'll see how it goes.
they're old boys too. They're 30 north of 33 and 34. Hunty and Reynolds, so there'll be an opportunity. All right, for the Roosters, this comment comes from Ben Lease. Hey boys, Roosters was a tough watch last night. Are those defensive areas about communication and growing new combinations? And did you see enough effort from the Chooks to think it might not be the long year everyone's predicting? Chooks get criticised for not developing their own talent. Then the year they do, they get ridiculed for not recruiting rock stars. She's a cruel mistress, rugby league, but I'm holding faith with Robbo. Just chasing some hope. Thanks for the rubbish-free footy chat, best rugby league content getting around.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
I think we've said this in the last couple of years. Like, this is an important year for Robbo,
huge,
coaching-wise, because all the big voices are gone. The Hargraves, the Manus, Jake Friend's gone, Corden's gone. All these guys, Hargraves especially, is gone.
Respectfully, it's the worst lineup he's had
in 5 years.
I reckon for his entirety. Like when you look.
Oh yeah, of course. But in 5 years, look how many games he's lost over 1,000 games.
Yeah,
in experience, right?
Yes. Okay.
It's going to be a tough year, man. Because as I said, if you're not of a Wayne Bennett, a Bellamy, a Ricky Stewart, your voice starts falling on fucking deaf ears, right? Because those blokes have been around for 20 years coaching at the top level, and they've got the runs on the board.
Even Wayne's moved though.
And Wayne evolves, man.
Yeah,
Wayne, exactly. Bellamy's just down there because he just wins.
Quick question: do you think he's understood that? Do you reckon that might have been a part of the reason behind his decisions over the years? That he's done stints in Newcastle, St George, Broncos.
Who, Wayne?
Maybe Wayne got has thought during the back end of his Broncos tenure. Have I been here for too long? Is the
maybe thinks about it. Maybe.
Do you think that's ever factored into his decisions of moving on?
Wayne's a smart man.
Yeah.
And I think he all those things would factor in. And with Wayne as a coach, it's the control, right? He likes to have the board, and this is what happened at the Broncos. The board was flipping around and turning and talking shit. That's what it pretty much is, like talking shit. And trying to make moves without him and his nod, where he created that whole Broncos culture, and they're still like that, right? Because of him. And when that starts to really, he doesn't like the look of it, he'll move on. He did that after St George. He did it in Newcastle.
Yeah, going back to the question quickly, defensively, are you putting that down to new combinations? Are you putting that down to youth, or are you putting that down to a premier Broncos team? Which one? Or maybe a combination of all three?
A combination of all three. I think Lindsay Collins at the start, he needs to set standards, mate.
Got bashed off the kickoff.
I mean, I know Brisbane's fucking about it, but you're an Australian prop. You're a Queensland prop.
He's the leader now.
You are that dude. You're supposed to go out there, cop the hit, don't try and offload or anything like that. It's just, you just set the standard. Get the ball, fucking cop your licks, and he's tough. He's tough, mate. And he just got on the back foot straight away. But some of those tries, it's coming back in my memory now. It's just they lack of effort sometimes, miscommunication between the middles. And as I said before, like with the other sides that got pumped as well, the middles weren't working hard enough, so the edge was all creeping in. And then what happens? You only got three out wide, and they're on different pages, right? So the four men on both sides, very, very important position. Crichton and Victor Radley, they're senior players, right? But if their middles aren't working hard enough and doing the right thing and putting pressure on the nine, putting pressure on Reynolds and everyone from the inside, it all falls apart.
I thought Radley was the only one who had any presence about him through the middle. And then once he went off, they were fucked.
Radley needs to be in the middle, man.
He was. Yeah.
Was he in the middle?
Yeah, he played in. So they put Siwa Wong on the right edge. Radley
so he was the only. Yeah, that's like through the middle.
As soon as he went off with that HIA because of the contact on Tedesco, he was done. Like they were done.
Yes,
they couldn't control anything after that.
Yeah, because he's the only one who can control everything. So you got Teddy at the back who communicates really well, and then you need another captain in the middle, right? Who can just direct these young kids around. And the full whites, and like Lindsay mightn't be a communicator. He's just a doer, right? So once he went off, I was like, oh. And I fucking feel for Vic, man. I'm like, I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
That was a pretty heavy hit.
He'll miss this week against the Panthers.
He should miss more than fucking 1 week. That's where I'm fucking against this HIA shit. I don't care. That's getting fucking hit by Mike Tyson.
Yeah. So he's had the data was on radio.
I saw it.
I think I'm right, but can you double check this?
Is it 6 in 3?
5 years? 4 years?
It's bad.
Yeah.
I want Vic to really. I don't think a week's enough. I think he should take a month off.
To be honest, and if I'm being totally honest, and the Roosters aren't doing anything anyway this year, it's about making sure that he's the future He's going to be a staple in this team for the next 5 years. With
future club captain as well.
With Teddy, I think he's
Teddy's
a future captain, so I'd be handling that really delicately.
How old's Vic too, Lukey? He'd be 26, 27?
Yeah, it'd be mid-20s.
And
Would you reconsider this because of this? Like because of the Radley situation, because of how, I guess...
26.
26 with some of the youngsters that deputised from the bench for the Roosters. I'd think twice about sending Cheese across the road to the Rabbitohs and maybe just use him as a lock, just a nuggety lock through the middle rather than having some of those other options, young kids that you got coming off the bench.
We spoke about this before. Cheese is on a revenge tour as well. If you're about it and you got fucking, which Cheese is, like all these players, aren't they proud men? They're fucking great players. You question his character or his ability and you hear all this talk, he's going to come back and fucking kill everyone. That's what I expect
Especially
from Cheese.
Especially if he goes to the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, that's what I expect from Cheese because he's an elite player. He's not a fucking reserve grader, no disrespect, or he's not just a journeyman or anything like that. He's a fucking elite 9 player, right? Yep. So you can't mess with blokes like that. Gets his body right, he's going to be still one of the best players. So, yeah, I wouldn't be these rumours better be stop flying around. Otherwise,
I think Wayne confirmed it too over the weekend that they're interested.
If you wouldn't want Cheese, you know, like as if you wouldn't want him if he's available. If they don't like him.
Do you want some details on some? I've got some pretty detailed.
What do you got? Victor?
On the Victor,
yeah. Give us some, yeah.
First reported one was July 24 versus the Warriors back in 2020. He had a HIA, but he returned. That was the first publicly noted concussion in his career. He then was ruled out 2021, May 28 versus the Broncos, ruled out immediately, missed the following week with protocol. Second concussion, he comes back against the Panthers June 18, fouled again. Remember he came back and he got one basically immediately.
Yep.
2022, knocked out again, fouled the HIA in post-match neurological assessment. The Roosters held him out for an extended period this time.
Yep.
2022 comes back July 15, which is just 2 months later. He comes back on, gets knocked out, but he's allowed to play. He must have passed the thing. Then he had one in the final series that year as well, 2022.
He had a good year last year, didn't he?
Yeah, there was nothing that really popped up last year. 2023, he got concussed in the opening game of the season.
That's it, That's why Robbo's got him on the edge, potentially.
And then May 2023, versus Dragons, round 13.
Okay, so that's a wait and see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, he definitely won't be playing this week anyway.
I just don't think a week's enough. I honestly don't. Like, come on, Vic. Like, and the Roosters, like, and you got to take it out of these players' hands because he will play.
He's too tough for his own good.
He's too tough, but every single player who plays NRL is too tough, and you got to take it out of their hands. And I just think someone should be able to come over the top of the Roosters and get to Vic and go, you're out for a minimum 3 to 4 weeks. You get hit like that in boxing at 6 weeks to 12 weeks.
Last year versus Stormy when he got up against Naz, remember?
Yeah, fucking too tough, mate. He's just one of those guys, mate.
He went against Naz.
He got knocked out by Naz.
No, that was Lindsay Collins off the kickoff.
Okay, maybe the name's wrong.
Yeah. Did he get hit by Naz as well? Did he?
Probably.
Maybe everyone.
Sounds like
right.
something Naz. Sounds like Naz something like that. Victor and Naz would get involved in.
But there's articles back in 2023 that the Roosters were considering doing. I imagine that's around the time with Kiri having all the drama.
Yeah, Kiri had drama.
Yeah, Boyd called a friendly. There's been.
If there's a club that treats it with the most respect and does
it is the Roosters.
It is the Roosters.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's. I just don't think he can just cop 1 week after that. That was horrific.
All right, the Knights 10 defeated the Tigers 8. This was a weird old game, mate. The Knights tried to win the game, in my opinion, in the first 30 minutes. They were lucky to escape with the win, but that's a crucial win. Campbelltown Stadium is a
hard game.
It's a fucking kind of a place to play.
Hard place to play.
First game of the season.
Yeah.
You want to get back up the motorway, up the freeway, get straight back up to Newcastle, regather yourself because that was an ugly win, but it's 2 points, mate.
It is. It's a good way to start. Doesn't matter how you get the 2 points round one. You got them. You know, they were up there. They're going to be a different team with Appy and Buller.
Yes, they are.
Appy and Buller Appy and Buller in that side. I think they get them.
Agreed.
So I'm just like, okay, the forwards they stood up. May.
Knights got more left in them though. Knights have got some more left in them. I like what they did. I like their edges. Dylan Lucas is.
Dylan Lucas looks like he could play Origin.
They look like their best when they were getting in and around the edges. I don't know what it was like. Maybe because it was round one and they got their superstar left centre and Bradman Best and Gags is their all-star Origin player. They were forcing it, trying to get to the edges.
Bradman Best was fucking forcing it.
Yeah.
He
had an off day.
Yeah, like that one where it was a two-handed pass. He just tried to flick it with his left. Like, if you're playing against a decent team, like, you want better skills from your premier centre. He's one of the best centres in the game.
Yep.
The Gidley flick, you know,
he'll never play that bad again.
Yeah.
In terms of execution.
Yeah, he did. He was off a little bit. His runs were fucking dynamic. He runs so hard. He's so hard to handle. It's just that last little bit that everyone remembers. They forget the 10 or 15 metre run that he makes, separation, everything like that, and then just that little flick was off, and yeah, just put that back in the bag before, unless you can execute it at a high level. He's got it in him, but like round one, it's all about just execution. And there's a two-handed pass, mate. Saw in the corner, iced the game.
Credit to Turuva. So Turuva had him in fits, and we've talked about this before. You don't have specific like wedge D or back off D anymore from your edge defenders. No. Turuva come in one time, next time he backs off. Every time Bradman Best got the ball, sometimes Turuva wasn't even there, and he was second guessing himself and getting jittery.
That's Penrith.
So, yeah, it is.
That's Penrith.
It's really good coaching.
Yep. That's the Penrith that he's learned. I think the Knights middles should have dominated a little bit more. With Leo Thompson there and Saifidi, they were good in parts, and then like the
Terrell May was really good.
Terrell May was outstanding. I think he's gone up at another level. Like, he plays massive minutes.
He's embraced the role, hasn't he?
Yeah,
has been the alpha.
Yep. I love it. And that's probably why he left the Roosters. He's like, I want to be the dude. Right?
What about just the Roosters watching the next, like they got dusted through the middle, and they're watching Terrell May play well for the Tigers and Tuipulotu play well for you guys. They must have just been sitting going, the Roosters fans like, how the fuck did this happen? Why are these two guys killing it?
They're two players that could like stop their starters in the Roosters pack.
Mate, it's not like they needed the salary cap. Like, I don't understand.
They didn't.
Anyway, there's probably more to it.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
but
there's more
I thought the Tigers were good. I thought De Silva was good. The 9. I thought Terrell May. I thought Bolle was good. I just thought, Luai controlled it. Still looks a little bit weird. I want to see what it looks like with Appy, because he's a lot more slower at 9.
Yep.
But
the combinations in around the ruck were
because there's no ball play, right? Yeah. Because you got who's the 13?
Twal.
Twal. Like he's a front rower. Like he's not going to pass. I don't want him to pass. I just want him to do like just fucking proper work, hit ups. Terrell May's the guy that looks like he's doing, and Bolle.
Yes.
I know. So I'm thinking, they need another middle.
Yeah.
Middle.
I just want to quickly flick back to the Knights, because we'll get to the Tigers as well.
Yeah.
I just want to go to the Knights and KP. He was a bit messy offensively as well. He wasn't at his he missed a couple of kicks. One, he put one out on the full. The other one, he went to go put in a grubber and completely missed it. Yeah. But defensively,
unreal.
And when they needed him to get out of yardage and they needed him to come up with good kick receptions, and I say this all the time, because he's a pretty boy, because he's a star player.
He's fucking tough, mate.
He doesn't get enough fucking credit for his toughness.
No, he's tough. He is tough. And I think, he did have a scrappy game, but at the moments where you needed KP to do something, he saved that try.
Yep.
He got that kick out. Like, he just did things that like only he can do, and he's happy with that, right? He knows what sort of player he is. Sometimes it's not all fucking glitz and glamour, and like getting to the 3-man short ball, long ball, left foot step, line break, pass it back into sharp, all that kind of stuff. It's not like that sometimes. Sometimes it's a gritty game for him.
Yep. You got to win games ugly, don't you?
Yeah, and he'd be like, they'll be way better for that game.
Yeah, same.
Way better, because they're like, we come down to Seatown, everyone's talking about the Tigers, they're going to be fucking top 8 team. We played shit and we still won. That's what they'll be thinking.
Yeah. Fletcher Sharp. The one thing about him, he's not your traditional 6.
No.
He's constantly going to test you. He's got high fitness levels, and whenever there was the part I love about it, we talked about players getting a certain number on their jersey and going away from what they do best. He doesn't give a shit that he's wearing the 6. He just went in for scoots and took scoots and yardage.
Just plays
because he does that well.
Just loves playing footy.
And fucking yardage. There's a couple of runs that he just took a scoot and made 15 or 20 metres.
Yeah,
and you love to see that. And then the combinations will come.
It's going to look a bit funny.
Yeah.
But like
they're probably about 3 or 4 weeks away, aren't they?
Yeah.
The Knights from
I don't know, because I didn't see any. It was a scrappy game.
Yeah,
right. It was a pretty scrappy game. There was never Newcastle never got in a position where they could play those like little tip out the back, Ponga around the back, anyone sweeping late, no fan shape, no drawn pass. Ponga had limited options, and that's just good defence from the Tigers.
Yep.
And I think, and that's what happens. He doesn't get that if you have no ascendancy in the middle. Ponga doesn't really have those options, and neither does Sharp. So I think Leo Thompson and Saifidi got a real fucking big job.
Yep.
Adam Elliott, why isn't he on the side?
Have a look, mate.
Oh, he was the 20. He was named the 22 or something like that. Yeah, so he's around. I think he might have been injured or something because he
didn't play any trials.
He's been one of their best for the last couple of years, and I think they miss him because he's tough. He does a lot of work, and he can ball play a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they've definitely their bench is. It could be problematic against the better teams. You look at all the good teams. They've got clear cut. I guess there's a rotation that's obvious there.
Yeah.
Even with Royce Hunt coming off the bench, gives them a point of difference for the Tigers. They're probably What about Luai and Galvin connecting, mate? I liked how they connected early together. Interchanging passes, but I thought when it was
see enough. I still didn't see enough.
When it was there to be had, they didn't. Neither of them took it. Did they?
They rarely got good ball where they had like multiple sets of 6 in Newcastle's. Red zone. I was just like, okay, well, you can't really do much like from the, like 50 out or anything like that, apart from get to certain points. And they did that, and then they just couldn't really execute anything.
I felt like Jerome was trying to defend the 8-6 lead like he's at Penrith, and I knew that wasn't enough. I knew Knights had one more try. I even thought Knights had another try in them. So once they got to that 60-minute mark, I would have liked to have seen Jerome just go, all right, 60 minutes we've played it the way we wanted. We're sort of, it's a bit messy. We're leading at Campbelltown. They needed another try from somewhere. Yeah. And that's probably Appy and Buller.
Yeah. It ain't going to be Jerome. He'll be setting it up. He'll be involved in the try somehow.
He needs Appy through the middle and Buller at the back.
And it's because Appy is going to be squaring up a lot of the markers and A and B so you can get your one-on-ones out wide. So it wasn't happening. They were just coming up, working very hard from the middle and shutting everything down.
Skelton was good off the wing.
Yeah.
Big carries.
Good, mate. I think he was their best player.
Yeah, he was.
I honestly thought he was. He can hit like a fucking truck. He's learnt a lot. When he first come to the Dogs, mate, he was like, he was a sevens union player. He had no idea about defence. Now he got it. Like he's learned a lot from Ciro for the back end of last year. Remember, he's got a couple of nods and he started really.
He's going to be good.
Really going well, yeah. And he's learned everything and he's fucking nailing everyone. But it's his runs. Played 2 runs. Fucking great.
Yeah, Benji was loving it.
Adam Elliott, groin injury, should be back this week or next.
Yeah, okay. I was just thinking that. I was like, because he's been one of their best. I think they miss him in the middle. So
he's definitely got a presence still.
Yeah, he's their leader. They love him. They love him.
The trap that he gets, he's a bit like, when you're critical of guys like Nathan Brown, when he can overdo it sometimes with the ball playing. I think he does his best
when you're tough, just run the ball hard.
Yeah, 80-20 split. I want with that. I want you run 8 times out of 10, 2 times. Give me some nice.
I just think he needs to build a relationship with Leo Thompson like he did, and just give him early ball.
And, 51 tackles from the Tigers, not good enough though, mate.
That's in the red zone. They were good.
Lose. In the red zone, they were good. Yardage D was putrid.
Yeah. Bad.
Dylan Lucas was running for 15 metres every carry.
Marju
was carrying the ball strong. He's in for a season.
Fuck.
He looks good.
How hard does he run? That second run of the comp, of the game, I was like, wow, out of a cannon. He looks like he's up for a big year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was compared to the other games that we're going to go through, that was pretty.
This was a close game as well. The Rabbitohs 16 defeat the Dolphins 14. And it's only 2 games of rugby league for me watching this young kid, but I think he deserves a genuine crack at being the number 7 for the South Sydney Rabbitohs and Jamie Humphreys. It was really good for Manly last year. I'm looking at that as a Manly fan going like life after DCE, how they couldn't figure out a way to keep him. Good body shape.
Fuck, he's stacked.
Fit, strong. I asked Ches about him. I messaged Ches. I go,
what's he bench?
I said, run me through Jamie Humphreys. He goes, legend.
Yeah.
He goes, he is Jakey at halfback, the nicest guy ever. And
it's a big rap.
Yeah, and he's going to be huge for the Rabbitohs, I think.
Yeah, he's
I
good.
like him.
Defends good.
Kicks well.
Kicks
big
good.
boot. Kicks goals. Which is no Latrell. He could be.
He looked.
Paul Lewis Dodd. He's missed the game. He could be over from the Super League, in New South Wales Cup for a while.
Yeah, I think South they wouldn't have won that game last year.
Agreed.
No way.
Yeah, especially against the Dolphins with Wayne on the other side.
Like Wayne just installs a little just belief in your own ability and just grind and win. He loves games like that. Just fucking tackle your ass off, work your ass off. The ball's a little bit slippery and it's just a fucking low game, but it was just defense.
He just knows how to win early games.
The Dolphins threw a lot at him, man. Fucking kept on hustling. They kept on husling. They were down troops. Cam Murray's a big loss. Latrell's a massive loss, man.
They lose Tyrone Munro at half time.
Yeah, with a collarbone. Losing a wing, it's fucking hard, man.
Yeah. And he scored 2. Like, he was playing well.
He was going good.
Campbell Graham.
Yeah, I like seeing him back.
What about the
500 games he missed? 535 days of football he missed. That is unbelievable. I'm not sure about the 35, but
36, I think.
yeah, was it? Yeah, 530 something on you. But like, I'm like, wow, it's good to see him. But that is a fucking long stint on the sideline.
What about the presence of their edges? You got Jack on the left, Campbell Graham on the right, Isaiah Tass is a big body as well.
They'll pump you. Anyone.
You'd prefer to if you're back row, get dropped under and go back through the middle, because even like Campbell Graham, about 8 minutes to go, Junior Tupo's big body, ball and all, puts that fucking
chest
sternum,
on chest,
puts that sternum to the test, picks him up, and you remember why the Rabbitohs were a dangerous team when they were scoring points like they were and defending on that right edge with Campbell Graham. He is a difference maker.
Yeah.
He is a difference maker.
Yeah, he is. He was in the World Cup 2022.
Yep.
And comes back, gets injured, hasn't played since. Is that right? About from the start of 2023, so he gets in there now. It's awesome to see him get through a game.
553 is the official
553. So I just think what a just resilience and perseverance and all those words personified, mate. Well
you know, I like through the middle as well, and you're missing out on Cam Murray, and this is a typical Wayne selection. Lachlan Hubner through the middle. Hubner. What about his shot on Herbie, and then he has one a little bit later on Kerr? Beautiful technique.
I was like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
So this for me,
they bought him from the Dolphins, didn't he?
This for me exemplifies why when fans say coaching is important, Lachlan Hubner and Wayne Bennett are the prime example why it does matter, because he's not the fittest, he's not the strongest. Mate, his ass was hanging out. He's not the fastest, but he's all effort and he front loads and he leaves it all out there. So Wayne rewards that. Michael Maguire reward that. Craig Bellamy at Melbourne, they reward those guys, because if
you need those guys,
if you're a player in the locker room or you're watching video with some of the efforts that Hubner comes up with and other players like Josh King at the Melbourne Storm and Kobe Hetherington at the Broncos, there are more talented players in that lineup, in that team, in that franchise. But the good coaches reward them. They don't get to a preseason and go, hey boys, we're going to give everyone an opportunity to start.
Thanks for being the best player in the trials and the best trainer all year.
Yep,
it gets rewarded.
You're in Queensland Cup now.
I'll put you in the 22. Yeah, I like that.
So that's
what they do, mate.
Yeah, that's the perfect representation. So when you go through and you're looking at teams and they're like, oh, it's the players are out there playing. No, coaches got to come up with decisions like this and reward guys like this who deserve it. He was really good. And another young guy who's filling in for Latrell, I thought Jai Gray. He's just all heart.
Fuck, mate.
He's just all heart. And
it gives you a different look than Latrell. Latrell's all class and he's silky. He's got that last pass, fast, strong, tackle breaks, everything like that. But Jai, you don't put a fucking line on him, he'll step straight through you.
If he can keep them at about 500 during this period the Latrell's out, that could be a problem, South. They're going to be thereabouts. I took him out of my top 8, but I'm
Who else
sort of regretting that now.
It's just Latrell?
Latrell will come back. Alex Johnston, you'd imagine, would come back at some point. Tyrone Munro will probably miss about 12 weeks now with a broken collarbone. That's the third time he's done it now.
Yeah, shoulders.
So that's, again, you go looking at Tyrone Munro, and this is why we bring in the rules with age and how early, because
he come in the game pretty quick.
His body hasn't developed yet, has it? But there's definitely a play there, and you can understand why if you're South Sydney wanted to see him play. The Dolphins.
You got Mawale as well to come back from his shoulder.
Davey Mawale?
Yeah.
Jai Arrow, they all played, didn't they?
And Shaq Mitchell.
So not much to come back, you know what I mean? You're not talking superstars there. You're talking good NRL players, but fuck. It's just Latrell, really.
Yeah, Latrell and David Weiler with
everything else is going to be a hard slogging year. They're going to win a lot of ugly games to make the 8.
Speaking of ugly, what you read on the Dolphins so far? Problematic week all week. A lot of drama going on. Players pulling out. All the stuff that they had up there with Cyclone Alfred. Is it too early to get a read on them, or could you see some signs where Wayne's moved on? Because I think we both agree that if Wayne's coaching the Dolphins, they win that game.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Lemuelu off the bench and Plath starting in the back row. Plath's a lock.
Yeah, I agree.
They've got to really figure that out, what they're doing with Tommy Gilbert. I know Tommy Gilbert's he was a back row before he got injured, or was he always lock?
He moved to the middle when he went to the Dolphins. So he moved the back end of his Cowboys stint. He was either off the bench or in the middle to account for.
Yeah, so he's a middle. He's a proper middle. Yeah. So Plath's a proper middle as well. They need to figure that out, because he's not a genuine back rower, Plath.
He was solid,
he just has to change his role and be like, look what Liam Martin does, man. Do that. Because I think he's got a lot of footy in him.
Yeah.
He's just not in the middle. You're just like, so he does a lot of dirty work, Plath. He loves that sort of shit. So need to get that sorted. Lemuelu looked pretty good off the bench. You know,
Kulikefu was dangerous, powerful.
Yep. They looked all right.
Gilbert, I thought Gilbert physically though through the middle, defensively,
his presence, mate.
Fuck, he was him and Felice were bashing people.
Yeah, they got a decent side.
Yeah.
Nicarima, I think they missed Nicarima.
Yep.
Just the ends of sets and a little bit of who played 6 for him?
SOS, Sean O'Sullivan.
Yes, it looked fucking just pedestrian, right? Just with this you can just see what's happening with his kicks. It's all very pedestrian, right? He can get a job done, but he's not going to break a game open.
You don't want to week in, week out.
No. So it's just like they just need to figure that shit out. They'll be thereabouts. They'll be one of those teams that's just going to fucking toil all the time, and they're so physical. They've got a physical middle, man. They hit hard.
I don't think they'll be a team that gets blown out by 30 or 40.
No, you're going to be... They've
too many proud...
It's that sort of DNA that's set in where they just don't stop and they don't give up.
Yeah.
And that's what Wayne Bennett's set up there. And he's left them in good stead with Wolfie. And it looks like they weren't far off. I thought they probably could have won that. Should have won that game.
Yeah, should have won.
They should have won that game. Souths were there for the taking with everybody out. But that's the Wayne Bennett mystique.
All right, the Bulldogs, your Bulldogs were really impressive, Mace. 28 defeating the Dragons, 20 who make a late surge. Where's the money at? Look, he's not super flashy, and he probably wouldn't be in the top 10 fullbacks in the competition, but gee, Connor Tracy does a job.
Fucking oath he does. He was very good, wasn't he? I don't know how many over 200 metres. Like he just gets the ball, takes the metres. If he sees a gap, he's going to go for it. He just doesn't leave any stone unturned. He just goes at it and he goes as hard as he can, and that's why they love him.
I don't know what money's on, but you're getting value for money on a guy like Connor Tracy every game.
He was good at Cronulla. He's always had a rap on him, and he suits the way that we play. That was a good game. That was physical. That was, we fell asleep for probably 15 minutes, a couple of little tries here and there, missed assignments, but for most of it was pretty dominant.
There was a clear game plan. I know Matty Burton's a left foot kicker, left side. They really wanted to put the Dragons in that cage. They had a really good kicking plan, and then off the back of it, a really good defensive plan, and they just strangled the Dragons. There was a stat that I was looking at, and it's a crucial stat. I've talked about it before with Siebes identified it for us when I caught a game with him last year, and it's the amount of metres you make per set. And at one point, the Dragons were at 31 metres. This is in the first half, 31 metres per set. And the Bulldogs were at 48 metres per set. So that was Connor Tracy's kick returns were really good, and they were just kicking into that corner, Fiangai, Gutherson, bring it out, and they just picked them up and dragged them back.
Yeah. Yep.
And rinse and repeat.
That's it. That's what they do.
Rinse and repeat.
And then just rely on getting into good positions and relying on Burton to get that pass and kick and Critter and our key players to execute in good space. And Tuipulotu, just playing some good football. Kurt Mann. Outstanding.
They look good together, those two.
Yeah, good little combos there. Just a little in and away, getting to B, and Tuipulotu just running. Bad defence in the middle when you look at it. Why are you turning in for? I think Couchman turned in. You can't leave your four-man exposed like that. That's what good hole hitters do. And he's going to test your inside shoulders. And if you can ball play like that, fucking look out. 2 tries like that. I thought he was outstanding, Tuipulotu.
Tuipulotu was running to score. That's the thing.
He was running to score, exactly. And there's a lot of cues around the ruck there. If you understand football and if you can get at A and B, and the C man's always in 2-man. He's just fuck, is he going out the back? Is he going at the front? I'm not sure if he's going to get to B. I'm not sure. Kurt Mann can do that. And then it's no marker work. They're very because everybody expects to go out the back and try and score. But if you've got genuine ball players and hole hitters in the middle, like we have and most clubs do, they're going to start exploiting that sort of area around the field. So I think everyone would have been looking at Tuipulotu's lines going, fuck, that's open all the time. And as I said, back to the evolving of the player, getting on that front foot where before no one was pushing up every play because everyone was fucked in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Now, every play's a play.
Fitness levels are there.
Fitness levels are there. Everybody's pushing up. So you got to adjust as defense for a defensive team. It's fuck, they're pushing in every single hole. Do you know what I mean? It's just you got to deal with it now. Good teams do.
The part that I loved, and I don't know if Ciro would have watched the Knights Tigers game. Me watching that game, I was frustrated that they weren't using Kai Pearce-Paul and Dylan Lucas enough in good ball. The Bulldogs did. They used up kicks. Kicks come up. He didn't have like a massive stats game, but a couple of nice touches. And Presto
was our best.
I love Preston. He's such a good player.
For a right side back row to get that many meters, I think he got about 170. And because he's not taking kickoffs, he's not doing anything. This is all off the 7, all off the 9, the 6. You know what I mean? And making post yard contact, all that sort of stuff. I loved him. He's outstanding. Because last year he was a bit down. It wasn't like his rookie season. Outstanding last year. They start game planning for you. That's what happens when you're that dude. Then you got to show everyone that you are him, all right? Because they got game plans to stop you now, Presto, to stop kicks, to stop critter. And that's when like when they start calling out your moves and stuff. And it's a respect thing. You're like, yeah, fucking good luck, stop it. All right? You can call it all out. So Olakau'atu, we'll get to that. Fucking good luck stopping that man. You know what he's doing. Fucking anyway, but like I thought Presto was great. I thought Fafita was great. The way he started the game, right? We missed out on Sam Hughes was out. Max King was great. What's Max King's haircut doing? Did you see that?
Well, what about
who's cutting his hair anyway?
So let's go to the makeup of Max King's short sides and back sides.
Yeah, it's just a bowl. Someone's got a proper bowl cut around there.
Yeah, no fade.
Nothing. No fade. No fade.
Kicks has got rid of the blonde locks.
Yeah.
And Matty Burton's got a beard.
Yeah, beard.
Which one was your favourite?
Even my boy goes, he looks funny. He looks funny. I said, yeah, he's funny. No, it was my little nephew. So I was up at seeing my brother and his little because they love the Bulldogs, right? And they go, what's Birdo? What's wrong with his face? I said, he's got a beard. So he should shave it.
He looks different, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks fucking old.
Kicks looks different as well. So much different.
Everyone's about business, I think. Kicks, he's been rocking the blonde hair for like 5 years.
Yeah.
He's just fucking over it.
Yeah, I like it. I reckon it looks clean.
Looks
I like it. I like it when players cut all business.
I thought Critter was outstanding too, defensively.
Critter was
He had a lot of movement on this game. How good were they? How good did that left edge look in those trials?
Yep.
And they got fucking shut down.
And you know what? They got skinned early and they recovered.
And then how did they get luck when Critter was, I don't know, hopefully he's all right. Are they cramps or like is he proper injured?
Yeah, cramps.
But like he missed that play and that's when they got the numbers down the edge because they were one short.
Preston was cramping up as well.
Yeah, everyone. I think people just don't understand. Like you can't like train like game speed.
Yeah.
And then you get out there and it's not it's the contact into 2 or 3 people on you and you still trying to drive with those people on you. You can't fucking
replicate that.
You can't replicate it at training. Like the drive, the legs, the post contact. That's when your feet and your legs are like just driving through the ground. So that's what happens when you're a powerful athlete and everything like that, and you're just trying to fucking get those meters, extra meters. Everything's a struggle. Trying to get on your front, they're trying to get you on your back. That's why players start cramping up.
Yeah,
and then once they
acclimate,
they're super fit, but their body needs to acclimate to the rigorous NRL season. It's round 1.
Sometimes when I watch players cramping up, I get the fuck up.
Yeah. I've cramped before. I'm like, I can't fucking move. Sorry.
When it's Critter, he gets a pass. It's like, oh,
Critter, good go. You're sweet.
You're right. Take your time.
Take your time. Are you good? Are you good? You want some fucking pickles? Some pickle juice? Take some fucking pickle juice.
Get this fucking man some pickle juice now. Get the trainers.
Get him fucking 300 litres of pickle juice. Get him an IV. Fucking everything.
If it's a young kid, get that fucking cunt off now.
Young kid would come off 10 minutes of cramping. Get off. But I thought the Bulldogs were really good. So, and back to trial form where people are like, yeah, they fucking trial good. Yeah, it don't mean shit because the Cowboys fucking trialed really well too, didn't they? They got fucking pumped.
I think that's more of a representation that the Broncos are red hot.
Yeah, and the Bronx the Bronx are good, right? And we stuck with them. A couple of little misreads. I think, if they play each other in a couple of weeks, it's a fucking good game. It's going to be tough, You put Sam Hughes back in there. Like, I think Moran was missing out. I think you just start strengthening up that. I thought Sexton was good. I thought everyone was good. We just they scored a couple of tries late when fucking Critter was cramping.
What about the Dragons?
Got him back. Dragons all right.
They looked really good in the trials. They looked okay in parts of this game. I guess showed some fight, which Flano can be proud of. But to be honest, like I said, I thought the Bulldogs were dominant for 65, and then they sort of relaxed a little bit. I guess addressing the elephant in the room for the Dragons is, man, I think Jacob Little's a starting 9.
I was going to say that.
And he's a good player. I know he's come up with a really big effort.
That try was fucking outstanding, by the way.
He was good last year, mate.
I know. I was surprised when they did get cooked because I thought Little was their best player last year. But that try, I know there was everyone was under fatigue, but he shook Marnie, got through. I think it was Bailey Hayward maybe through that gap, through those two.
Bailey Hayward was turning.
Yeah, I was just like, someone turned late and everything, and then he fucking got
Tracy,
Tracy, and then burnt the fucking cover D. So, I'm like, that's Cook speed. I thought it was Cook.
Yes.
I thought it was Cook. I was like, fuck.
Can they play together, Cookie and Little?
Yeah, they can. I think it just depends what you want from Cook. And I think Cook looked outstanding from on the trials, right? He was fucking zooming all these balls and they look sharp as hell, that left edge. So what happens, as I said before with Cook, you fucking dominate the middle, you take Cook out of the game. Right? Yeah. Little got that gap. Cook could have done that as well. Because under fatigue, everyone was fucked, right? Yeah. And he got a quick tap, blah, blah, blah.
Did you know Little was that fast though?
I didn't know he was that fast. That's what I thought it was Cook.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. So I was like, Cookie's back. He's back on the great try. I'm like, fuck, that's Little.
Yeah.
But and then so I was like, Emre Gula got dominated in the middle, and DeBellin, and who was the other prop? Couchman.
Yep, Couchman.
Their middles got dominated by ours. We work so hard in the we hunt so hard from the inside. Yep. We put fucking so much pressure. Ilias off game. We'll just put it.
I think Dragons have got a better performance in them. Like I do
too, but they were under pressure.
Yeah,
we put them under pressure with our defense.
Yes,
our defense made them make mistakes, made Ilias make mistakes, made Flanagan make mistakes. Gutho was under pressure. Their fucking whole edge was under pressure. Both edges, middles. It was just our pressure from defense. That's it.
The one thing that was noticeable as well, whenever the Dragons were going over or attempting to score tries or just missing out on tries, there was 5 or 6 Bulldogs jerseys in the frame.
They hustle, mate.
Think about like when Connor Tracy goes over, Gutho's trying to save it. It's like Couchman. There's only 2 bodies. Every time there was like
be in the picture,
1 or 2 more people in the picture.
Yeah.
So there is improvement in the Dragons.
Little thing, there is a lot of improvement. We like that's what we train for. You know, that's the third year under Ciro's reign there, and he fucking demands excellence in defence, right? So everyone hustles with the ball, without it. Everyone's in the picture. And, you know, we don't have that fucking Payne Haas or Tino or like, you know, that fucking, that big fucking alpha. You know, Max King and that, they do a job, mate. They'll do a job on you.
Yep.
Kurt Mann will do a job on you. Fafita did, you know, like kicks, pressing all together. We put more fucking numbers in on you. Like we'll hit the ball, we'll hit your ribs, we'll hit your legs, and next minute you're on your back. You could be the most dominant player on the field, but you get attacked by fucking 3 or 4 people all the time.
Just going back to the Little versus Cook thing, if you have them on together, if you look at the Bulldogs, sometimes they've got Kurt Mann, Bailey Hayward, and Reid Marnie on at the same time. What they do is, though, they lead the line speed. So if you have Little and Cook on, you used to have to be leading that line speed and bringing the rest of it.
And Little's a little bit thicker, and
I
think he can hit a lot harder than Cook. Cook's got great technique because he's been around the game for a while and he's learned how to do that. I think they can exist in the same starting team.
Yeah,
they just need to understand who they're playing. I mean, you're playing against the Bulldogs there who just fucking put more numbers in. They hustle harder than most teams, and like you got to play a little bit more small ball, I reckon. That's some big boys. Emre Gould's a big boy.
Yeah,
Couchman, big boy. DeBellin, big man. Luch, Sewer, big men. You're going to get run off your feet against the Dogs.
Their edges.
So he got out-coached.
Yes.
Probably out-coached.
Sewer and Lucha got more in them as well.
Yeah, they got a lot more football. They just need to get that match fitness.
Yeah. They'll be a hard team to pick.
They're going to be,
this year, just like they were last year.
Because they showed fight. That's the scary thing. Like it was 28-10. I was thinking we might get like probably, I was looking at a 36-42-10.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. But fucking it scared me at the end.
Yep, agreed. Sea Eagles 42 defeat the Cowboys 12. This performance honestly caught me by surprise because, again, going back to the trial form, we didn't see any of the starters for Manly, but it didn't matter. No. Veterans like Jake Travojevic, Tom Travojevic, Daly Cherry-Evans are not required these days.
No, they're not.
They've got the runs on the board. They've been there. And it's all about health and being healthy going into round 1.
They looked healthy.
Tommy's a Four Pines specialist. He's just different at home.
But I just think this is the best he's looked in 3 years.
Siebes brought up a good point. It's the first time he's finished a season healthy.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It is a really big thing for him mentally. Like he's like, okay, well, his last massive season was 2021.
Yeah,
he's been like playing busted ever since. Now he's got that whole preseason under his belt. He's finished a whole year, Origin, Test, everything like that. Like now the confidence is back, and he looks like that 2021 version. Because as I said, everyone's going to go back to that year because that's the standard that he set.
That's the highest.
It was the highest standard I've ever seen anybody play at, and it sucks sometimes because that's what you expect.
That's what you judged
on. Everything that Turbo does now because we know what levels he can get to. And it wasn't 10 years ago. It's 3 or 4 years ago. And it's just like, fuck. And it looks pretty close to that. He was taking short sides. He looked silky with the ball. He looked line breaks, just fucking coming off the 9. Burn, little tip, inside, line break. It It was like that version, playing with kids again.
He took a hit up in the middle of the field.
Middle of the field, just skins. You're not even getting him. You're not even thinking. B's like, what the four man? How the fuck did he get here so quick?
Why is he taking
three
carries
strides?
in the middle of the field like
three
this?
strides. He was on the left post, just went bang. I was like, oh wow. Okay, he's back. He's back. It's good to see. I love it.
Platform for him, and you can tell Tommy gets so much confidence out about where this guy's at the moment. Hamoli looks like the big poly kid who runs through the under eights, and he's just bigger and stronger than everyone. But he does it at NRL.
Yeah, that first try that he scored, I'm like, oh, they fucked it. He's too deep. It was the perfect timing, and that Purdue just went, oh fuck, because he turned in and he didn't know that big Hamoli was coming on this big line like that. He just went. Did you see where Purdue was? His hips were that way. Yeah. Hamoli's just like bang. He went, try to skid out. Not a chance.
Molly runs that sweep line.
Beautiful line.
Him and Kicks run it like fullbacks now.
Yeah.
They've got so good at it.
So good. So he runs it the best. He runs it the best.
If that winger comes in, bang, he just tips it on like Kickow does. If not, he holds out, run the ball. It's fucking so hard to stop when executed like that.
Speaking about Hamoli, did you see him hit that person from Fox Sports?
Yes.
That was one of the funniest things. I was watching that. Yes. I was watching that last night, and that's one of the fucking funniest.
You can fracture ribs in that joint.
He nearly killed him.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was one of the most perfect techniques I've ever seen. Did you see how close his left foot was to his? So young kids at home, go watch that if you want to be able to hit hard. How close his left foot was to his feet, that other guy, and it's like punching someone, like a fucking mad right fucking hook or left fucking straight. I don't know
if I'm getting old, but as a Manly fan, I hated seeing it though. Why is he fucking? I don't care who the fucking guy is. I don't want any of my players fucking. He went 100.
Oh yeah, I don't even think that's 100. That guy was like a bag of bones.
I know,
right? And he had a thing on. He just come off the line at like maybe 50%, but it was about the setup, right? When he planted his left foot and he just went bang. I'm like, oh my God. It was all over socials anyway. Yeah. But I watched the whole thing. Fucking Heine and Fletch and Matty just stirred him up and they didn't even know he was running at Hamoli.
I don't know how they talked him into doing that.
Oh, mate. That was awful. But back to Hamoli and Dearden. I just felt sorry for Dearden. And he's tough as fuck. When he got the ball on that edge and he just he went like that and he just drove his left shoulder into Dearden's head.
And then they made the break on the next
that's
play.
Like punching a person in the head.
Yeah.
I was like, and then just flicking it. And
I'm with you, mate. I felt sorry for Tommy.
Yeah, I felt sorry because he's just such a good kid and he didn't deserve that. But I could get some other players and like, you fucking deserve that, but not Dearden. He goes too hard and he's too tough.
Yeah.
But
are they genuine contenders?
Yeah, they're genuine contenders. If they, as I said, there's such an anomaly. If they can learn how to grind and play like that, they can stick with the best. That forward pack is dangerous. Paseka was on.
Yeah. I reckon it's going to be crucial for him, and it's not going to be stat-wise, but just leadership, locker room, setting the tone, being a veteran presence. Takiaho for
outstanding. And
it's
even Shaz Tavanga, I was wrong about him. I thought that he wasn't going to be able to stand and deliver all game. Easy, great delivery, well done with the ball. He should just
do that. He got to be carried away.
Everyone does when it's 38-0.
Yeah.
You want a piece of the pie, don't you?
Yeah.
You want your little highlight, but like in a tight game, he's going to be able to do that. I think Croker comes back.
He's going to suit Manly.
Yeah,
he's a grub.
He's a grub.
He's got it in him. In the best possible way. When I say grub,
grub, I mean it's tough.
Yeah.
Just like elbows in the head. Little, you can't fight anymore. So you got to get away when you're an angry little fucker. Oh, we're cut from a different cloth this game.
Yeah.
You can't just go out there and play fucking tag. You got to drop an elbow. You got to do things, mate. You're angry. Yeah. You're out there. You got fucking issues. Deal with them. Anyway, so I think Manly's got that team, man. They look fast as hell. If you're not on edges, if you're not checking every single your middles to your edges to your fullback, everything's not connected. They're going to get you somewhere. And DC looks like he's playing under 10s. Again, like he's just so much time with the ball. Brooks was just taking fucking off the ruck hit ups because everybody just wants a piece of it.
That's
right?
his best skill.
Sabi, Garrick, fucking Kohler looked fast as hell. They didn't even get a chance to explode at most of those guys. So I was just scoring at will. It was bad. It was bad for Queensland, North Queensland. It was very bad. I don't think there was one play that I can go, fuck.
Yeah, what's your read on them so far? They've got talent on their roster, but they've lost. Like, think about the veteran presence that they lost. Val Holmes, 250 plus games. Yeah. Chad's paid over 200. Even Kyle Felt played over 200.
Yes.
And underrated. Jakey Granville was above 200 as well. So that's a guy that used to come off the bench.
700 games they've lost.
And no Jason Tomalolo in this game.
So you nearly had 1,000 there. So it's a lot. You know, you put Purdue in there. Like you trialled good. Just not fucking trials. You're not playing against a reserve grade. He's going to be a good player. He's probably about 5 or 6 kilo underweight. Very light for a centre.
Yep.
The halfback,
Duffy.
Welcome to first grade.
Welcome to first grade, Duffy.
Yeah, a few little moments like that where they're going to go, fuck, you know. You see some of the... I love looking at Todd Payton. His fucking head. I mean, I love Big Rod. I love Rolsey. I played against those blokes, good friends of mine. And as I said before, when are you getting into coaching, mate? Because I don't want to look like that. I don't want a fucking resting heart rate at 180.
They
Just like fucking Rolsey looks about 80 already. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking Toddy's, I think Big Todd's 1 year older than me. Fucking Trent Robinson's 2 years older than me. He looks fucking 90. High blood pressure. It's the most stressful fucking job in the world.
I don't know why they want to do it, mate.
Oh, mate, because I can see why they want to do it. It is great. It's great to be, you know, I mean, I'm happy with pathways. Yeah. The young little kids just fucking go, hey, what do I do here? It's fucking great. Because I love, like, Ogre and I and, like, Josh Jackson's there and such a good crew and teaching the young kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally different than fucking grown-ass men. But the roller coaster of emotions in first grade, it's like, holy shit.
You must be a sicko.
Yeah, you fucking roller coaster. You're on the demon 24/7. You are riding the demon, fucking highest highs, the lowest lows. But it must weigh the good must weigh out the bad somewhere when you see those young kids grow and everything. But I think you got to be like at a Wayne Bennett level to sit there and not a loss will never affect Wayne that bad. Belly, it'll affect him. He'd have depression for a couple of years.
Like Belly's just a lunatic regardless. Like
he's intense, mate.
He's intense when they're winning by 50. So
Ricky takes it personal. He thinks you lost him the game because to fuck his legacy up. It just looks stressful. Then all these other guys, you got your Ciros and the Websters and all these other blokes, the Carousel and the fucking Fox fucking network coaching clinic.
And then you got Ivan just sitting at the top.
Yeah, and he just looks like
he's got Wayne mannerisms. He's
very stoic, right? I don't think he'd get much more than what he's like on a presser, right? Yeah,
you've got to just watch that documentary, mate.
Yeah, I will.
You'd love fucking Ivan.
Yeah, the Bellamy one last night came out too.
Oh, yeah,
so that's another good one to have to watch this week.
You hear what Munster said I interviewed Money for our show on last. They said, it was supposed to be done a couple of years ago, but he didn't retire. He kept on teasing that he was going to retire, so they just kept on filming us for 3 or 4 years.
Cowboys, back to Cowboys.
They were beaten to every stat. I agree with it. There's not one sort of person that stood out for me, and I thought, they had a good game. And how about this for a start, mate? Sharks at home this week. Broncos away at Suncorp. Yeah. They got Raiders round 4 when they get Xavier Savage and Joseph Tarpany back. And then they got the Panthers. They could be 0-5.
Yeah, season done. But I mean, like, you just have a look at these top teams. They just look so far superior to anyone else. Everybody who won this week was pretty dominant, apart from the Newcastle Titans and South and Dolphins. Everyone else looked like, all right, there's the top 4.
Yeah. Anyone who's got Broncos, Panthers, and Storm, or at least 2 of those teams in their first 10 games up,
you're looking
at it. It's going to be a fucking tough start.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the Storm to wrap it up. 56 defeating the Eels.
Lukey Snow. That's all I kept thinking about. Fucking hell. 36-0 after fucking 10 minutes.
Pereira hadn't even finished fighting.
Yeah, I was looking at your stories. I was like, this emotional fucking wreck over here. Oh, poor Parramatta. They were bad, mate. I'm not sure who was the worst team performance-wise. Was it Cowboys? Was it the Roosters? And then I saw Para, and it was Para.
You're
it was Para.
Well, statistically, yes, they are.
Yeah, no. It was more than that. It was the softness of tries, mate. It was at will. You can't. How do you score that try off a scrum when Pappy comes around from the other side? What do you fucking think? Good play, mate. Yeah. They do it all the time. Most teams, right? Bit of communication from your right side back rower. Step out, lock. Step out. You know, like the little things where I said before when like Meaney just hits that hole, it's 5 meters wide. It's just a simple ball. It's just a simple block play to a fucking lead with no one around the back. It's simple little things like that where Riley would have pulled any fucking hair out, right? Because he's fucking been at 2 of the best defensive systems in the fucking game for the last 20 years. That's what he's been a part of.
Yeah.
And he'd be looking at that.
That would hurt going against
hurts.
a team that you know so well. He would have prepared them as best as he could.
Yep.
They were clinical, but mate, 40 minutes in, Munster and Pappy were running. And I guess the most dangerous thing to consider with this Melbourne team, Jerome is still getting back to full fitness. He had his issues in the off-season, missed the Pac Championships. Money took it upon himself in a bit of a revenge tour, as you mentioned. People were talking about not only his position internationally, but everyone was giving Jerome so much praise last year, and deservedly so.
And he deserved it, yes.
But when you're the top of the top, you're playing with your teammates, but you're also competing to be the guy. Everyone wants to be the guy. And Munster showed it. Pappy was outstanding. Pappy looked sharp.
Pappy looked brilliant. If he can just stay, I want him to stay on the field because I love watching him play, right? Such a great human and fucking great person for the game. He's what young kids look at. Fuck, I want to be like Pappy because he's the line break. He's got the hair. He's got the look. He's got everything going for him.
He's undersized too.
He's undersized, so he looks like some kid who's playing under 16. He's like, oh yeah, I can fucking play NRL. Lukey's going, I can fucking dye my hair blonde next week to get out there for para. Grow a mullet. I could grow a mullet. He's looking like that. But I just think that their forwards were outstanding. Stefano was great. Their back rollers were outstanding.
Yeah.
Blore and Katoa and Aliero through the middle. As I said before, Stefano just looks he looks good, hard. Josh King, little tip-ons through the ruck. All those teams, as I said, they've evolved with the game. Every play's a play. They're having 3 or 4 shots at you, depending on where they are in the field. Well, I say before, their back five was missing in those trials. I don't give a shit. Look at Coates, look at Warbrick.
What about that finish from Coates?
Pap. You know what I mean?
How did Coates get that ball down off?
Freak, mate.
Munster hit that off his shin. He miskicked that. He's put it too deep. Coates, I don't know how Coates comes down with some of the. He's one of the best finishers
easly. Of all time.
He's right up there with Brett Morris, Izzy Folau, all those sorts of players.
He's going to be battling with those guys. I think there wasn't a bad player for Melbourne.
No. Their edges destroyed the Parramatta edges.
Yeah.
Just generating quick play the balls and then off the back of it. Like Munster, second try of the game, just gets the ball one off the ruck, drifts across the field. The middles couldn't get set. Josh King goes through untouched.
Yeah. See, little things like that where Rolsey would be fucking, I don't know what
furious.
you do, mate. I don't know what you do because you just work your ass off all preseason for those things, just little things. You can cop Melbourne's tries, mate. They're going to score tries.
Yeah.
But you've got to make them earn it.
Well, this is what I said in the preview for the game, right, mate? So I said Eels were never going to win that game, but you would have wanted to see them compete for longer. And you know what? It was the younger guys that were competing probably the best. I thought Riley Smith showed a lot of heart. Isaiah Youngie kept on fighting all the way to the death. Dury was good off the bench. Charlie Geimer had an impact because that edge was getting destroyed. Kelma Tuolangi got fucking pulled after 15 minutes. They put Geimer on that edge. It improved it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Jack Williams got hurt, so they put Kelma Tuolangi back on.
Yeah. It couldn't stop the bleeding. They just couldn't.
Stop.
As I said before, it's like with these top teams, when they're on and you're off, fucking good luck, mate. Good luck, because there's no kicking out anymore. There's nothing like that. You just how do you get the momentum back? Defense. Stop defense. And they just couldn't because they'll go and try for try, back to back all the time. It's just like, what do you do? Next minute's 36-0. And then I'm like, fuck, what do you do when you're behind there like that? And there's still like 10 minutes to go in the first half.
What do you do if you're Dylan Brown right now?
Fucking hell, you'd be thinking about everything. You'd be thinking about am I here for a rebuild? Or I got to a grand final a couple of years ago. You know, that's probably as close as this club's going to get. Do I go? But where do I go?
You know what he reminds me of right
go?
now? He reminds me of Payne Haas 3 years ago. He's becoming the villain at his own club because of the contract situation. He needs to get it sorted ASAP. Whether it's leaving or staying, I'd love to see him stay. I'd love to see him continue his relationship and partnership with Moses, but...
Would he have made a difference, Mitch Moses?
Yeah.
His kicking game it would have been. I think it would have been a little bit. They still would have got beaten.
Yeah.
But maybe a 36-10 don't look too bad.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think it could have been. A 36-12. Yeah, okay, that's against Melbourne down there. A red hot Melbourne. Yeah, like a lot of things. It had a lot of rookies in a lot of key positions, and I think, you know, they can improve. Para. They just come up against the wrong team. Yeah. In round one. Yeah, it was the wrong team, mate, because they're on a revenge tour themselves. They want that fucking premiership back, all right? And they've got the team now, and I don't think anyone, they're looking at going, fuck, they're running the table. They're looking like that. That's what I'm thinking. Without injury, without injury or anything like that, they're going into any game going, We're going to win. That's the confidence levels that they have.
What about low max centres?
What do you do? What can you do as a right? That's the difference. As I said, like in games where a winger can get the ball 20 to 25 times a game, where he's going to limit himself to 10. 10 to 15, and there's going to be a lot of shit ball. A lot of shit ball he's going to be getting, and it's like, shift, give the ball to Zach Lomax, see what he can do. That fucking, what's the kid's name? The young,
Volkman.
No, the young kid, the young centre.
Penasini.
No, for Melbourne, sorry.
Oh, Jack Howarth.
Howarth.
Yeah.
He takes that personally. He's like, well, this guy's the best winger slash centre in the game. I need to stop him. You know, so
Physically, Jack Howarth and Liero looked again.
Jack Howarth looks like it, mate, and and Zach is strong.
Yeah.
And he come up against him like body to body. And they
Couple
just,
times.
Like two Komodo dragons.
Yeah.
Boom, just straight in.
So Zach had 15. This is actually that's NRL. They always put a little bit of GST on their stats. I'll see if I can get it up as we're going.
Yeah, but and most of those touches were like terrible.
Yeah.
Not from him, but like in bad situations on the field.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like from Volk, a couple of shit balls, and then he starts trying to push the ball. So, you know, what do you do? You know, it's a bad position for Zach. But as I said, like if he plays wing there, he gets probably more quality touches. Because
what do we got?
Not
here?
really, but coming out of yardage, he would have got the ball a lot more instead of like. It was hard for him.
Look, you're right, and this is the eye test as well, mate. Yeah. Without you looking at 14 runs on the Fox Sports for 90 run meters.
Yeah, it was a hard day.
Yeah.
It was a hard day.
He still got in for the work, but he just wasn't getting.
They started just going, let's give Zach the ball like it was under 14s.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't happen. Not against that team, and not when everybody's worked so hard from the middle. You know, Half was there, and then you've just got everyone was just coming up from the inside. They know how Zach rolls.
It's only a little thing, but it's a big thing. Riley Smith, when Will Warbrick took that intercept to the house and he chased all the way.
Yeah, that was good.
Riley Smith will be there.
Was it Russell or Riley Smith?
Riley Smith.
Okay.
Yeah. So he'll be the starting hooker next week, I can guarantee that. Those sort of efforts. Brendan Hands went off after 20 minutes and then didn't come back on really until he got
See the difference when Warbrick took that to the house. The defense remember when Yongi done that against the Tigers? Nailed it. Yeah. That's just video. See how he sat back a little bit and then made him go. And then boom, straight on it. Mate, that was not a fluke from Warbrick. That's doing a lot of prep.
It's good coaching.
That's good coaching. That's good prep. I looked at that and went, he would have read that. He would have saw that. Belly would have saw it. All the defensive backs would have saw it and then executed. It's great.
All right, so a good week all round. Also, I want to give my Super League Super Coach team a shout out. 1,300 points for round one. Pretty good score.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
Is it? Tell me.
It's really good. It's really good, yeah.
What's the average?
I don't know. I don't play.
A good score has been 1,300 and above, and I got that and dominating my league.
Everyone's going to be winning if we don't have a league.
All right, we'll see you.
I'll win in my league.
I'll see you on Thursday for the preview, but that is round one review, all done and dusted.
Ooh.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.